Hey y'all, good morning. I'm on the river right before sunrise, and boy, we're gonna have us a day, y'all. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see right now with low light, but all up on the shoreline, and there's some right here behind me. Over here it's going down. All this surface activity, all this splashing around, that's spawning activity, folks. This is one of my favorite bites of the year, and it's happening right now. I thought I missed it. It's very late this year, but it's going on now, and we're gonna take advantage. So I'm gonna put y'all here in the chest while we get baited up. And they're right over here going to town. They're all along this grass line here. I'm in a creek that feeds into the main river channel, and all along this grass, they are doing their thing, man. So we're gonna get baited up real fast and see if we can catch some of them. I'll show you the baits, show you the rigs, all that, and then me and you, we're gonna sit here and have us some fun today, catching some big fish, hopefully getting them one after another. When you get these fish going and they're spawning like this, man, it can be an awesome bite. So right here I've got a pack bait mixture. This is breadcrumbs, corn, jello, very simple to make, very cheap to make. It's an easy bait recipe I got off the Catfish and Carp YouTube channel years ago, and it just works, man. I love it. It's my favorite carp buffalo mix, if you will, and catch a lot of catfish on it too. And I wouldn't be surprised if we bust a catfish or two in here today, because they are also on the nest and are up in the shallows, and it's possible there could be some of them up here in this creek. But we're taking that pack bait, putting it on a method feeder, which I'll show you the other one here before we get baited up, show you a little bit more detail on that. And then I'm going to take some scissors here, if I can find them. We're going to cut these worms in half. We're going to do a pack bait corn worm mixture today. And I'm just going to take a piece of night crawler and put on this hook. This is a number 6 size hook, ESP hook. I've got a little hair rig on there with a couple pieces of plastic corn, and we're putting the worm on the hook. So you've got the breadcrumbs, jello, corn mixture in this feeder that will create a little chum pile around your hook with the worm and the hair rigged plastic corn. I've got Carp Sumo, that's the other brand of Catfish Sumo, but I've got their carp rods, the chopstick, Daiwa BG 4000 size reel, and I'm just gonna throw this bait kind of on the edge of the grass over here. And the current, there's a little bit of flow in this creek that'll put the scent down there. We're gonna back off our drag a little bit. When we get a fish, we don't wanna instantly rip that hook out of their mouth. We want that drag kind of loose. Carp have a very soft mouth, and if your drag's tight, the hook will pull right out. So we wanna tighten that drag during the fight. So here's a better look at the feeder. If you're new to my channel, if you're new to carp fishing, here's what they look like. They're just a coil and wire with a couple lead weights on the end. And this one here, I think it got bit by a snapping turtle. Something crushed it on a recent trip. But this holds the pack bait mixture, whatever you're using for pack bait. And again, today we've got panko breadcrumbs, jello, and corn. But you can use a variety of things for pack bait: oatmeal, soybean meal, et cetera, et cetera. There's all kinds of different recipes. They all work. Everybody's got their own favorite concoction, but you just squeeze it on there, and that wire and coil helps hold it on, and it just slowly kind of falls off, making that chum pile. And then right below that there, you've got your hook. So when the carp come up to feed on that pack bait mixture, they end up finding your hook and the corn and all that. Let's cut our worm there in half. Oh, I lost that one down my pedal drive slot, didn't I? That's all right, we got plenty of worms. I got 2 cans of these night crawlers, 2 tubs of them. So what I'm gonna do with this one is cast it right over here on the other side of the channel. And we're going to try to get a little spacing between our lines and hit both sides of this creek, since there's spawning activity going on both. And what I'm going to do, folks, we're going to put our rods there in the rod holder. Let me get this stuff out of the way. That way we can land fish here. We got plenty of space to do it. I'm in my Hobie Pro Angler kayak today. I don't fish out of this kayak very much anymore. I've been in the Lynx mostly this year, but I busted it out for today because we have the anchor poles here. I've got my power poles mounted on this thing on each side to kind of give me a way to keep the kayak still. I wasn't sure, our water level has come up. I wasn't sure if we'd still have bank access or not. When the water's at normal pool, you got overhanging trees and stuff, and we could have pulled up in the grass today on either side, but I wasn't sure coming out here. It's been a hell of a year here, folks, in my area. We went all year, couldn't get a drop of rain, and now for the last week, it ain't stopped raining. Monsoons every daggone day. We haven't had a disruption to my channel here on the videos because I was a few videos ahead, but this is my first fishing trip in a week. So I've been rained out every daggone day. So I thought, you know what? It's my first trip in a week. I haven't been carp fishing in a while. Let's just go do it. I don't have any catfish bait or anything. So we'll just come out here, take some grocery store baits, see if we can catch some carp today. Much to my surprise, I come in here and there's spawning activity going on everywhere. So this is a glorious day, folks. It's a glorious day. I'm gonna leave the camera running. This is gonna be an unedited, uncut trip. You're gonna see it all from right now when we're casting baits out till I roll out of here today. But this spawning bite, man, when you get these fish, and and it's tough to say because this is my first trip out. I'm gonna leave the camera here in the chest, folks. Let me just put this in here. The way you can see these rods go down when it happens. It's tough to say where we're at in the spawn for the carp here. When there are, boy, dadgum mosquitoes, man, on my neck, buddy, eating me up. But the carp, when they spawn, they will move in by the gazillions, it seems like, and they'll be up in the grass. The female will be swimming along, the male's coming beside us, so they're fertilizing the eggs, which are going to end up in the grass, right? Well, when it happens, it's a short window of time when the spawn happens. You've got a few days, but there's a big wave of fish. You get a few fish, and then you get a big wave of fish, and then you get the stragglers that are right here. We're already hooked up, man. We're already hooked up, just a few minutes in. This ain't acting like a carp, though. I think we got a catfish on here for number one. I think we got a cat, folks. I thought we might get a few cats today with being kind of time for the catfish spawn and us fishing so shallow in one of these creeks here. It's a good possibility we're going to get some cats. Yeah, I believe we might have one. It ain't going to be a very big one. Hell, it could also be a turtle maybe too. I don't know. It ain't a carp, I'll tell you that. Definitely not a carp. Definitely not a buffalo. It is a cat. Yep. Is that yeah, it's a blue cat. Okay, let's get our net. Come over here, kitty. Get in here, fish number one. You can see I got me a new net we'll talk about here. Okay, well, you are not the target species today, but we're not going to turn down any bites, that's for sure. Come here, blue kitty. Okay. Lord, get your pliers out of here, folks. Get your pliers out the box, or else we're going to bend this small hook. These are, again, number 6 size hooks. They're very small hooks, especially for the size of fish we're going after today. But they get the job done. Lord, blue cat, you got all tangled up, man. net there, didn't you? Boy, you're a skinny old thing. Go eat a sandwich there, fish. My gosh, you withering away. Okay, let's get our fake corn there out the net, set it back here behind us again. We still got part of our pack bait on there. I'm gonna put a little more on though. We're gonna put quite a bit of pack bait on first thing. And as the morning goes on, we'll back off of it. As our chum pile gets bigger and bigger out there, we won't need as much. And we get them feeding in a, get them used to eating right there in an area. But right now, that one still had some on, so don't need to put as much. We did lose our worm. Grab another one of those. That did not take long though to get the first fish, even though it wasn't the exact species I was hoping to get. I think that worm's dead. Let's pull that one out. I'm just cutting these night crawlers in half here so we get a little bit more bang for our buck. These things, we don't need the whole worm. We just need a worm. Actually, don't even need a worm, but I like using them because I seem to catch more buffalo when I use worms. So I don't know if we'll have any buffalo in here today or not with all the carp in here spawning right now. There may not be any buffalo, but we're gonna catch some fish today. All right, we got that back out. Back off that drag just a little bit more. Tighten our line up. But yeah, anyway, the spawn, man, it's my favorite time of year to fish for carp. That fish get water all over the lens. No, we're good. Favorite time of year to fish for carp. They move in these creeks by the gazillions. They're obviously burning a lot of calories doing their little mating ritual they do as the female swims along and drops the eggs while the male fertilizes. And so you have a bunch of fish in a small confined area that are burning a lot of calories, burning a lot of energy, and you provide a food source for them, they're gonna eat it. Now, they ain't necessarily focused on eating, but when you offer them an easy meal right there while they're doing their thing, man, I've had some really, really good trips. I mean, just some amazing trips, just one fish after another. When you really get them feeding and locking in on an area, man, just bite after bite after bite. So I look forward to this. This has become something I've really looked forward to. Something's messing with that left rod right there already. But I really look forward to this bite every year. And this year, it's late. I thought I missed it. I've had other people tell me, I've got channel members, they can comment and stuff. And some of them that live a little bit south of me, they were telling me a month ago, here we go on this one. This one on the other side of the channel here. Oh, buddy, we're in just a few minutes in. We've already got, this will be number 2. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. This ain't fighting normal, I'll tell you that. Boy, wouldn't this be some doo-doo if this is a turtle? I don't feel no head shakes. He's not just... Carp usually bolt with it, man. They're very hard fighters, as you're gonna see when we hook into some today. I don't know what... Is this a daggone turtle, man? I don't know what's going on here. We're gonna find out. He's going behind us is where he's going. Steer him out of our anchor poles over here, folks. Don't let him get in those. No, that ain't either. That's a big carp. He ain't fighting right. He ain't acting right. That's a big one. All right, that's what we want at least. We got the right species. Just an odd fight. He's wanting to throw. I can't get my words out. I'm excited. He's wanting to throw his weight around a little bit now, he said. I can't get my words out here. Y'all bear with me. It's early. We ain't fished in a week. Hell, I'm out of practice on the video stuff, and I'm excited. Here I did, thought I'd missed the spawn this year. Had other people tell me they'd done seen them. I never saw any spawning activity. Granted, I haven't carp fished as much this year, but even when I've catfished and I've launched in creeks and backwater areas and stuff, I've just not seen it. I've not seen the activity, so I guess I hadn't seen it because it hadn't happened yet. Oh, did you see that? Did you see that? There was another carp that came up with it. There was two of them right there. I don't know if they got on camera or not. I saw that second one. I think it was coming up to try to get it on or something there. Bad timing on that, wasn't it, fish? We was getting ready to net you. All right, buddy, number one. I need to get the front camera mount out, but we ain't gonna do it on this one. We'll do that here in a second when we get this one rebaited. Boy, you got that hook right there. It's coming out. My pliers are about rusted shut too. That hook, folks, is in a bad way right there. Oh, we got that left rod going down. Okay, there's that one. That left rod got hit. I don't know if he's on there or not, folks. Here, let's do this. Y'all take a look at that one right there like that. We'll get our front camera mount set up directly. We got to let him go, though, or let her go, whatever the case may be, because this one right yonder here, oh, it got hit, but it didn't. It didn't get the hook. Our worm's on there. We got pack bait still on the feeder. Well, that's just me and you. Let's just toss that back out. Oh, buddy. Oh, hey, before we go any further, can I give you a fist pump? By gosh, we're gonna kill it here today, buddy. We're gonna have us a day. This is one of my favorite bites of the year. It's one of them things, man. It's timing. You got to get a little bit lucky to just be on the water and be ready while it's going on. But it seems like today's our day. It is our day, right place, right time. And when we get them really feeding, man, we may have to go down to one rod potentially. I've had to do that before. I don't know if it'll be that point today or not, but I've literally had to do that before because you're just catching them so quickly that you can't keep up with two rods even. I don't know if it'll be like that today because I don't really know. I'm seeing activity, but it ain't like, it don't seem like it's, like it's the main, what's the word I'm trying to use? Like the main event, I guess, like when the bulk of them are here. It don't seem like that. There's a lot of them, but who knows? Is this the first wave? Is the spawn already happened? The bulk of them, and this is the stragglers, what's left? I don't know, but either way, there's enough of them here for us to have some fun, and we're going to, buddy. Simple, easy setups, man. Rigging simple. The bait's simple, literally stuff you buy at a grocery store. I used to say you get this stuff at a grocery store for a few dollars, but now, with the prices of everything going through the roof, ain't nothing a few dollars anymore. But you get my point. At least it's easy to access this stuff. They're going crazy right there on the shoreline. I mean, just tons and tons of activity. But yeah, I had people tell me that they had already seen spawning activity, so I assumed I missed it. But one of my channel members, he lives fairly close to me, and he has some family. His wife's parents, I believe it is, his wife's parents live on a creek. And every year, the carp and buffalo spawn right behind their house. And so he had told me, he had commented there on channel members video recently and said that his in-laws still hadn't seen any activity this year. And it's like, well, was it just, they're just late? Are they spawning somewhere else? Is it because the water's been low? I mean, normally by now, like the water would be up to the shoreline over there. All this grass you see here would be, it would have been submerged and died off by now. But again, we've been in a drought all year until this week where it's monsooned every day. But the water's just been down, so we didn't know. I don't know enough about carp to know how a drought and all that will throw everything off. I'll tell you, last year, because I marked it down, the carp spawned on the new moon in April. It was toward the end of April. So, I mean, this year, I mean, we're talking weeks later, and it got warmer here this year than it did last year. Like, we had kind of an early spring where the temperatures, air temperatures, water temperatures, everything warmed up quicker. So I would have thought maybe the spawn would have happened earlier this year, not later, but shows what I know. I don't know a damn thing. But what I do know is if we're on the water, when it's going on and we get some baits out there, we're gonna get bit, and we're gonna get bit a lot. So we're gonna have us some morning here, y'all. I'm gonna fish till about lunch. We'll just leave the camera rolling the whole time. Y'all see it all. But I mean, we're just what are we here? We're 20 minutes into this, a little over 20 minutes in, and we've already got 2 fish. Hell, half that time we spent just getting baited up, man. Like, this is a fun time. Usually, when I go carp fishing, I'll get everything rigged up, cast out. It normally takes 45 minutes to an hour to get the first bite. And then after that, it'll seem like bites will come a little bit more frequently, but I think it normally takes them that long to kind of lock in on where the food is at when you cast out there. Now, when you're in a creek or a river that's got a little flow and you can get your scent on the move, I think that'll help the cause a little bit, helping them find it a little quicker. But when you're in a situation like we are today where there's a bunch of fish already here, we can easily get baits in front of them. Now, I made this one on the left, I probably need to move it a little bit more to the left. But some of this, and you can't see right now because it's pure mud, but some of that grass, I mean, like, our bait's probably in the grass over here, truth be told. I don't want to get too much into it, but I want them to easily find it. What an odd fight that last carp was, though. He didn't, or she, I guess they've been doing the deed all night. Oh, we got another one here doing the deed on this one. But it probably just wore itself out. Oh, did you see that? That's a catfish. Come completely out of the water. That catfish doing its best imitation of a bass right there. Oh, Blue Kitty, come around here on this side, Blue Kitty. Leave that worm on there too, why don't you? You don't need that worm. You actually do need that worm. You skinny. Here, can we get you over here without netting you? I don't know if we can or not. I may bend this dang hook or break him off or something trying to get hold of him. Oh, there we go. We got him. He ain't very big. Ain't net worthy, but we got the net, so we might as well use it today. Oh, dinkety-doo, little eater-sized blue, but I thought we'd catch some cats potentially. The catfish spawn is for sure happening right now. My last catfish trip, folks, most of you has tuned into my channel for the catfish. I got skunked. The last trip I went out before all this rain hit us, I did not get a bite. I mean, not even a sniff at the bait. It was just and I was drifting too. It wasn't even like I was anchor fishing. And you can just say, well, I was wrong place, the wrong time, whatever. No, I was drifting. I was covering water. I mean, I fished like 5 hours that day and never got the first bite. So it was just it was a tough day, and I thought, okay, those fish, they probably moved up, because I was on a run, man. Y'all have seen in recent videos, like, man, I was busting big fish every single trip. But I was due for a bad day, I guess, and I was due for a bad day of catfishing, and I had it. And I was due for a good day of carp fishing, and we getting it right now, or about to. Even though we done caught 2 catfish and no carp. Something's already on that bait. We just cast out, my line's moving over there. Something's near that pack bait. Boy, I tell you, man, we're gonna have some fun, y'all. I love this. Normally, to do these unedited videos, I'll sit here in between bites and I'll tell you stories, and I got some stories to tell you too, by gosh, but we talk about life, we solve the world's problems. Somebody that owns that boat over there's got a problem. It's washed down this creek. They done lost their boat. I guess the water come up a little too far and took it, and now it's sitting over there on the shore. So y'all need your new boat. There it is. I don't even know what it is, canoe or something probably. But normally that's what I do in these unedited videos. We just talk about life, man. We figure out all the problems in the world and what we can't do to fix it. But when you've got action that's going on nonstop, it can be, these fish, they want to interrupt the story. They want to interrupt the show. And I'm fine with that. So I'll try to tell you some stuff today, intermittently, as we reel in these fish. I hope it, man. I hope it really gets going. I hope the bite really, for us, just, I mean, some of my most productive trips carp fishing have been during the spawn. I wish I was good enough at carp fishing to follow it. You know what I mean? Like, drive an hour or two south of me, because you would think they would spawn, if it's like catfish and bass and everything else, they're going to spawn sooner the farther south you go, and then I'd like to follow that spawn is what I'd really like to do. And I'm just not good enough at it. Hell, like this year, I couldn't even time the damn spawn. Thought I'd missed it completely, and here we are, just lucking into it today. So I'm not good enough to do that, but I would like to. That'd be the bee's knees, man, if you could just follow them, drive an hour or two south, hit them when they first start, and then just make your way progressively north. Here's what I want to do, man. We've got you see them fish right over there? Let's just throw right over there, right on the edge of that grass. We got pack bait and that worm on there. Let me just put it right there in front of them. They are headed right toward it. Let's see, we'll leave it right there for a little bit and see if that'll get their attention. They were working their way up to us right there. They'll hopefully work right into it. If that don't pan out on those, we'll move it back over a little bit to where our other pack bait is. But I mean, they're just, you can see them right there. They're right there beside it. They're so focused on getting it on right now, they may not, that particular group may not get that worm. Plus, we're kind of in the grass right there too. We'll see here in a second. If it goes down, it's going down. our rod tip. I don't know if they're just swimming into the line or if something had it. Something may have just swam into the line. That rod tip got bumped a couple times. I'm wanting to just snatch it up, but I think they probably just hit our line as they were swimming around. We'll try it right there for a minute. And if it don't, oh, we're gonna reel in one right here first. Okay. Let's see what we got here. I don't know yet. It's a carp. I saw the orange. Why don't you tell you fish here to swim back the other way. Don't go over there or getting in that other line. Turn, fish. Turn. Your other left. Turn to the other left. He's gonna do what he wants. He said he's gonna come over here, get in our line and see what's happening with his friends over here. He said there's a pineapple in front of somebody's door. I think that's the swinger sign or something. He's trying to get in on that action. Right over here by our other line though. Not necessary, fish. You had this whole daggone creek. Granted, it's not very long, or very wide, I mean. It is a long creek, but not very wide. Yeah. You know, and the funny thing was, y'all, I was going to set up further on out in this creek, and I thought, let me just look, let me just see what's going on back here, because I have seen fish spawning back here before, specifically in this grass. There's grass here in this part of the creek. There's not in other parts. And I'm glad I come back here. I got on the water plenty enough time to get set up before sunrise today. Imagine that, me getting my butt out of bed on time, but it happened today. I'm just happy to be back out on the water more than anything after being cooped up in the house for the last week. Getting that net fish, I missed him again. Lord, steer him back around here. One of y'all net this fish for me. This is a pretty good one right here. We might set up front camera mount on this one. Come over here, fish. Get over here, you wound up. There we got it. Now we got him in the net. Come on in. Yeah, we need to set that front camera mount up, y'all. Whoo! That's fun. Oh, what's fun? He just knocked my trolling motor handle off there. Get it together, fish. Now you need to. He said he wants out of here. He's got other women to see. He ain't got time for this hold up. I don't blame you, fish. I'd rather be mating than hanging out with me too. We're going to get a picture with you real fast though. Y'all bear with me a second here, would you? Let me get in this front hatch here. Got crap everywhere in here. There we go. That's what we need. There we go. Okay. Now, y'all sit up here in the front seat for a second if you would. Make sure we got that thing positioned right. There we go. Okay. Nope. Hold on, fish. I ain't done with you yet. Not yet. Well, you done knocked the camera sideways there with all you flopping around, fish. We'll make it work. All right. There you go. Y'all, we're gonna have a day. When we roll out of here today at lunch, we're gonna be tired of catching fish. I'm gonna pick this feeder out of my net. There we go. Let me get it out of the way. Got this new net here, and it's deeper. The netting's deeper for the larger catfish, but on the smaller fish, like that last one there, it can be a little bit of a nuisance. Maybe should have brought the other net today. I wanted to try it out since I just got it. Get my feeder unwrapped here. There we go. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and put a little bit more feed on this thing. We'll put us another worm on there. At this point, I'm not gonna put as much pack bait on. But, boy, I think that fish, I had my bag, my pack bait bag open. I think he knocked a bunch of water down in the bag. So our pack bait's kind of soup right now. We got a little bit more doughy mixture with it than I would normally like, but we'll roll with it. We'll make it work. Let's get us another night crawler out of here. Them old Canadian night crawlers, folks. You don't want an American night crawler. I don't know why, but you can't find an American night crawler at the store. All you can find, you go to Walmart around here, Canadian night crawlers. So I don't know what the hell. I guess the American night crawlers, they on strike or something. They got labor dispute demands that ain't getting met. Let's get y'all back here in the chest as we cast this thing back out. Now let's put it right back over here. Same general area. Okay. Now, since this one didn't get the result we wanted, we're gonna redo it and move it just a little bit more to the right. I'm gonna put a little bit more pack bait, put a little bit more of our pack bait soup on here, if you will. He got a bunch of water down in that dang bag, man. When you mix your corn, so this here is 3 cans of panko, a can of golden sweet corn, and a can of cream style corn. That was the mixture. And the juice from your corn will wet the breadcrumbs and basically make it the perfect, ideal, doughy mixture, if you will. I got that a little bit. I kind of want to be between where we was and where I just casted, but we're gonna roll with it. But anyway, your juice from the corn will mix it up where you need it to be as far as the moisture and whatnot, but that carp, he splashed a bunch of water down in there. But normally, I don't have to add water or anything. Normally, just the juice from the corn is enough to wet it for the amount I do. And usually, if I do 3 or 4 cans of panko, and they're like a couple dollars a can. But normally if I do that, that's enough bait for a full carp session. And you know, if it's a day where you're only getting a few fish, well, you might last 2 or 3 sessions maybe. In fact, like I've got my other, well, I've got it somewhere here. I don't know where the hell it's at. Oh, there it is. I've still got this left over from, this is the old mixture and a little bit of mold in there too. But that was from the last time I carp fished, which has been, hell, I don't know, probably at least, probably 3 weeks ago now, probably I'd say, because I've missed a week of fishing because of the rain. And then prior to that, I was on that good catfish bite. I mean, it's been a while, but that pack bait, man, you put it in the refrigerator, it might get a little moldy, but it'll keep. And the carp don't care. They'll eat it with the mold. They like them some penicillin. Believe me, all this fornicating they're doing around here with all these random partners, they could probably use them an antibiotic. I guarantee, statistically speaking, these carp getting with that many other fish, there's some venereal diseases going around out here in the carp world today, folks. So they need them some penicillin, by God. And we got it growing in that other bag there. We may end up using it today. I'd kind of thought, and I forgot to do it. We got this right here going down. Did I forget to loosen my drag, or is it just is that another catfish? I think we got another catfish on right here. Boy, the cats are back here thick right now. They're probably back here especially these smaller ones, they're probably back here eating those carp eggs. And I wouldn't be shocked if there was a monster, maybe a big flathead specifically, back here taking advantage of these carp as well. Because these carp, they're mating, doing their thing. They're not really, I mean, think about your own life, folks. You meet a new girl, it's all hot and heavy. You go back to her place, or she comes back to yours. You ain't paying attention to your surroundings, right? Same thing with these carp. They're not really paying attention, and they're an easy target for a big flathead. So I wouldn't be surprised if a flathead or two, or maybe some big blues, were back here feeding on the carp, while these smaller ones, these eater-sized cats, are back here feeding on the eggs that they're dropping. That and there fed on a worm. I gotta oil these pliers, but them things are about rusted shut. I ain't been in this kayaking forever, they ain't getting used. I've been in my Hobie Lynx. It has become my preferred kayak, but I needed to get back in this thing a little bit, and I thought today would be a good day to do it. That way we can use our anchor poles too. Yeah. We're gonna catch a variety today. Probably, I don't know if we'll get any buffalo. That'll be the thing. Usually when I'm, in the past, when I've been on a good carp spawn bite, I don't find buffalo mixed in with them. A regular, normal trip, sure, there'll be some buffalo. But during the spawn, I don't know if they just get rooted out, if they go somewhere else, I don't know. But I wouldn't be too optimistic of getting a buffalo today. Blue cats, channel cats, carp. That's what I'm thinking right now. Okay. Let's cast this back over here. There it is. I honestly can't believe we ain't catching more carp than we are. We've got more catfish so far than the carp, but I just want to get a bite, man. That's what I want to do. I want to catch some fish. I want to sit here and just reel them in, one after another after another. You know, when I go ultralight fishing, now I'm throwing a gulp minnow or a little red worm on a jig head, I'm wanting that action, right? Like one fish after another. And a lot of my ultralight trips, man, if I go out fishing for 4 hours, I'm gonna catch somewhere between 50 and 100 fish, especially during these warmer months when there's a lot of fish up in the shallows. But when I'm going after bigger fish like catfish or carp, you don't often have days where you can get, or I don't anyway, where you're gonna get just bukus of fish, where you get good quality and good numbers. And today we got a possibility of doing that. So, and I've got my, you know, I seen a shad flipping a minute ago. There was another shad flipping right there. I may throw the cast net before I leave here today too, see how big them shad are. My thought was, I was going to carp fish this morning, then throw the net before I left, because I didn't launch the kayak in this creek, but I put in another creek downstream. And I thought I'd throw the net, get me some catfish bait, and go catfishing tomorrow, because I think I'm going to have a situation where I can fish in the morning tomorrow. We got some rain. We might get rained on today. I brought the umbrella here, my poor man's bimini top. I brought it just in case. But it's mostly supposed to be in the afternoon today, and same with tomorrow. But I thought maybe I could fish in the morning. I'd go catfishing, but I may have to come back here and hit these carp again tomorrow. I just might, because I mean, if this is the first wave then tomorrow this place could be absolutely loaded. We just don't know because I haven't been out. We don't know. Is this the first? Because I mean, when I've seen them really in here thick, I've seen way more fish than this. Even though there's a bunch in here today, like I've seen way more. So is this the beginning or is this toward the end? And it's just, I mean, it's a short time, man. It's just a few days this happened. So you got to hit it while the hitting's good. It would be nice to have a big piece of cut bait or a live bait though. Let's say I come back here tomorrow, I'd still like to have some shad and throw out a catfish rod in the event that there is a big flathead or a big blue that's up in here feeding these carp. Because again, it's an easy, I mean, catfish, they're predators, but they're opportunistic predators. They're going to take advantage, man, when you see me use crappie, because it's a legal bait where I'm at. But you see me use crappie, when am I using it? Late winter, early spring. Why? Why then? Why does it work so well then and not so good other times of year? Well, it's because the catfish are feeding on them. Them crappie first move up in the shallows, them catfish are all over it. You'll see it with the bluegill spawn too, man. Bluegill will start working a little better. Well, right now, these carp, buddy, I think these smaller cats in here eating the eggs, but when these things are distracted, I promise you, some of these mating carp are getting gobbled up by big blue, big flathead during the spawn. It's happening. They're not paying attention to their surroundings. And nobody's paying, when you got the hormones running, man, you're focused on planting your seed, if you will. Like, you ain't focused on nothing else. You ain't paying attention what's going on around you. I'll tell you a story a little bit embarrassing about myself. In my younger, more energetic days before I was a married man, you know, I'd get after it a little bit. Anyway, once upon a time, I went out with this girl. Y'all, parents out there, put the earmuffs on you kids, would you? But anyway, I went out with this girl, and we was having a real nice time. We had a real nice date, and it was pretty obvious early on in that date that it was going to be my night, if you know what I mean. Things were going well. So anyway, we finish up with the date and we make our way back to her house. And business was getting started before we went into her house, you know? Like, we was right there on the doorstep. And like I said, it was my night. And so, you know, we go in, wham bam, yada, yada, yada. And it's at that point in the evening where I got to make a decision. Do I spend the night there or do I go on home? And the answer, fellas, is always go home. Take your ass home. But it was late. I was tired. And she wanted me to stay, so I stayed. So mistake number one, not paying attention to my surroundings when I went in. Mistake number two, I spent the night. Well, I wake up next morning, y'all. And you know how it is when you first wake up, you got that kind of twilight period where you're kind of awake, but you're kind of still asleep and your eyes ain't working right. I wake up, I've got a cat sitting on my chest. Like, it's literally sitting on my chest looking at my eyes right as I open my eyes. And it freaked me out, so I knocked this damn cat off of me. And I sat up in bed and I look, and my God, there must be 10 cats on the bed. I've never seen so many cats in one place in all my life. And so I'm elbowing her. I'm like, hey, wake up. I think you've left a window open or something. Every cat in the neighborhood's in your house. And she's like, oh no, these are just my babies. These are my pets. I'm like, my God, there's like 10 of them. You the cat woman? I got up and got the hell out of there, folks. I realized at that point I had made a mistake. I was with the crazy cat lady, but I didn't know because I was distracted when I went in because I was, you know, the hormones were racing. It was like these carp over here. You got one objective and you ain't paying attention to anything else but completing that objective. So same thing with these damn carp. Thankfully they wasn't some big flathead or anything in there to eat me or I'd been got. I must have saw, oh, here we go, another one. But y'all, I kid you not, I must have saw 4 litter boxes from the time I walked out of that bedroom, and I was distracted getting out of there because I mean, oh crap, I lost that fish. I was telling y'all about all the damn litter boxes in this girl's house. But I mean, she must have had at least 10 cats, at least. So, needless to say, me and her didn't work out. It was a hell of a date, though. Damn cat woman, buddy. You gotta keep your eyes open, fellas. Number one, when you go to a girl's house the first time, keep your eyes open. Look around. There's signs that she's crazy. Women can't hide crazy very long. And if you walk into the house, there's a chance you're gonna see it if she is. Second thing is, fellas, and I can't emphasize this enough, take your ass home. At the end of the night, when the date's over, take your butt home. Don't stay. I made 2 mistakes that night. We ain't making no mistakes out here fishing today, though. Not today, buddy. We're right place, right time. I don't know what that fish we lost was. I'm gonna assume a carp, but who knows? I can't believe the one on the left ain't getting hit. That's a surprise. Got my line wrapped around that rod tip every which way. And we got that one. A little bit more beyond where we've been casting, it'd be all right. I don't care which rod they hit ultimately though, but I'm surprised we're not getting, because we've got a lot of fish here on the left side. And honestly, I mean, it wouldn't be a terrible idea to, of course, we ain't got a 3rd rod with us, I only brought 2, but put one right down the middle too. We'd get it snagged up or tangled up for sure. Having this many lines and such a tight area, that's kind of why I went down when I first kind of got into carp fishing a little bit. I started using 4 rods. I even rigged up my DIY rod holder bases here so I could put another one of these style rod holders on each side. That way I could have 4 rods. But what I found was when I'd be fishing creeks like this, if you tried fishing with that many lines, you was getting tangled way too often because these carp, they're going to run back and forth and just get everything wrapped up. So like if I come back here tomorrow and we bring some shad or something with us too, what we'll do is we'll throw a rod behind us, get it going that way. That's what we'd do. But yeah, it's hard to fish. Most of the time when you see like competent carp, not me, but like people that actually know what they're doing carp fishing, they're fishing with 3 rods most of the time. They've got them little pod setups with the bait detectors on there, and they'll have 3 rods. Why all them carp pod things are always set up in 3s, I don't know, but they're always set up in 3s. But I don't know how they do it without getting tangled, especially in a place like this that's just super narrow as the sun pops out. We didn't really get to see much of a sunrise today because of we got this set of trees here, and then beyond that's a big hillside with some trees, so the sun had to get up for us to see it. I hope it goes by in the clouds. It is going to be sweltering hot today. with all this humidity. Well, we were having a pretty good spring. It had gotten warm, but it was a dry warm, and then we had all the rain move in, and it's been tropical. It's been not only hot, but incredibly humid. I feel like we got right into summer, as I'm about to get right into another fish here on this rod on the right. Something was moving our line. It's still moving our line. It's over there near our bait. You just see them carp though, all up and down the grass over there. Oh, that was the one. He was right over there. Did you see that was a carp right in front of our line that come up? There's some birds in them trees that need to move on over there too. I hear them cackling. It's an active morning for everything. The birds, I saw some deer on the drive out here, and the fish going crazy. Somebody lost that dang boat over there though. That thing's washed down from further up in this creek and it's settled right there. Now when the water comes up higher, it'll probably move on down some more if they don't come get it. I guarantee you that water, they had it probably pulled up on the bank, and that water come up quick with this rain and took them by surprise. It's amazing. Have y'all ever watched some of them flash flood videos? Holy cow, like you always hear the term flash flood. But I think growing up as a kid and stuff, I didn't really know what flash flooding meant. But like when you see videos from up in the mountains and these canyons and stuff, and you see how fast the water goes from nothing to just rapids that are several feet high, like it's amazing. It's incredible. Like you really understand the concept flash flooding when you see it. Videos like that just always blow my mind. It's like another video I'd seen, it's been several years ago, but it was of a tsunami, and I forget where it was at, maybe Thailand or somewhere over in Asia, but you saw the water go out, which was really weird in itself. And then you see it start coming in and getting higher and higher and higher and just washing everything away. And man, I tell you, if I lived on the coast, that would be the most terrifying thing. I would be so terrified of tsunamis. Because it happens so fast. Like that water, like when it started going out, you had to start running for the hills immediately. But all these beach places, I mean, let's be real, they're all, even in the kind of third world places, like there's just a bunch of people around the water. Like you can't get anywhere in a hurry at the beach. So chances are that water's going to get to you before you're able to get the heck out. And I mean, it's just a bunch of people die in them things, and it's crazy, man. We had it a little bit here. Well, not here. East of me in the mountains there with that Hurricane Helene, which I guess has been, what, 2 years ago? Time runs together. I think it was about 2 years ago now. Maybe 3. Yeah, I honestly can't remember when it was. But same deal though, like we got a bunch of rain very quickly up in the mountains, and everything just flooded and washed out the interstate, and the interstate still ain't back to normal. I think it's just one lane going through there. I don't know when they're gonna get it fixed. They was working on it, and then they had more flood and messed it up again, so I don't know, one of them things, man. Why can't we getting bit, y'all? I'm ready for another one. I'm ready for it now. I've done teased you all with one fish after another kind of bite, and now we've sat here a minute, and we ain't getting a bite. This left rod, though, it has done so bad. I can't believe how poorly we've done on the left rod. Let's do this. Because I'm impatient, let's do this. I can't leave well enough alone. We're gonna put a little bit more pack bait on there. And we are going to cast it a little bit more toward let's go more toward the middle of this creek channel. It'll either work out or it won't. If it don't, well, we'll switch it back here in a little bit. Let's put a big glob on here, since this will be first area, or first bait hitting the water in that part of the creek. Yeah, let's just try it. Get kind of out in the middle and see what's going on. Is it maybe get some carp that's working in, that's not actively mating, or maybe get a bigger cat or something that's working through, because this is real shallow. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. But this, dadgummit, I got that line wrapped all around that rod tip up there. There we go. This creek's very shallow. I mean, you're talking just, there we go, a little bit more toward the middle there. But I mean, you're talking just maybe in the very middle original creek channel, maybe 3 feet at the most. And certainly shallower up on kind of the edges of the creek channel. So I mean, you get a big blue cat, he can hide coming up the middle, but he gets over on the edges, his back's gonna be out of the water. So we'll put it over there for a second, a few minutes anyway, and see what happens. It'll either work out or it won't. But we know, man, we know there's a bunch of fish in here though. We know it because we can see it. We just got to get them. We got to get them eating. We got to get them knowing it's there and keying in on it. I hope this is the beginning. I hope it's the beginning and not the tail end of the spawn. I just don't know. You know, it's one of those things like, and I guess it's maybe easier with like bass and bluegill and other spawning fish that you can catch. I mean, bass and bluegill are easier to catch when they're on the beds. If you put a bait in their bed, they're going to hit it, right? But they stay on them beds longer. And technology will allow people, especially if they got side scan, to locate them beds. And they can just kind of go back year after year. They'll spawn in the same places. They can check and see when fish are there and when they ain't. But with carp, they're not making a nest. They're not making a bed. They're getting up in the grass. So you kind of gotta, and it's a short time period that they do it. So you kind of just have to visually see it. And that requires you to be on the water in an area where they're going to be doing this. And even, like, I don't fish this particular creek very often. I pretty much, the only time I come here is to carp fish. And I like coming here because it's kind of out of the way, kind of secluded. I rarely see another person in this creek. I kind of got placed myself. But it's not a place that I can keep an eye on, if that makes sense. Like a lot of the places I'm catfishing, maybe I'm putting in a creek or something like that, I can see what's going on in that particular creek, but when you get one like this, it's just got a, and this creek's kind of weird in that when you go up here, I'll show you behind us, like when you get up here around the curve here to the left, it's a very narrow creek. It gets a little deeper back there, but it's very narrow. And when you go down here, it turns to the left, it gets very narrow. Again, a little bit deeper, but it gets narrow. But on down from like where it turns there to the left and where it goes back up in here, and I've been way back up in this creek before, there's just not grass. This one stretch here, that's what? Probably, I don't know, 200 yards maybe? Maybe, I don't know, somewhere between 200-300 yards long. This one stretch of the creek, it's kind of shallow and very grassy. And so I think any carp that are kind of in this area, and on this stretch of river, this is one of the few creeks that feed into it. Like you got the creek I launched in is a pretty good ways downstream from here. Like in this area of the river, if carp wanted to move into a creek to spawn or feed or whatever, this is their option to do so. And within this one creek, that's kind of the only option in this area for them, this one stretch of it has all of this grass. So I think because of that, it kind of forces them to do their mating, their spawning in this one general area right here. But, and I've got the videos on my channel. Those of you longtime viewers, or if you're a new viewer and you want to go back and see it, you can go to the carp playlist on my channel and see it. But like when it's really rolling in here, like, I mean, it's a lot of fish. And we're seeing some today, seeing plenty of them today, but it ain't the full Monty. It's so interesting to watch them though. I mean, I got my eyes over here on these, on that shoreline. It's like, they just, and it's one of them things like, and you see it with other animals too. Of course, as humans, I mean, we're spawning year round, right? I mean, there's certain time periods, like if you have well, you take COVID, for instance, right? Everybody got put on quarantine there and was locked in their houses. Well, right at 9 months later, you had a bunch of babies born because, hell, people were bored. But for the most part, us humans, man, there's a pretty steady birth rate year-round because humans are mating all the time. But animals, there's certain time periods. Fish will spawn. Some fish will spawn multiple times a year, usually around the moon. But it's amazing the animals that do spawn at certain times, like one time a year or spawning, breeding, whatever. It's amazing that they know when to do it. It's like, and I don't, and like with carp, like what is it? Is it water temperature, water level, moon phase? Because, I mean, you can't just say, like, well, they're going to spawn on the new moon in April, and that's what it was last year. But, I mean, we're several weeks beyond that this year, so it's more than just that. Maybe it's a combination of things, but it's like when they know, they have to know, like all carp have to know, be like, okay, it's time for me to move back up in here to the grass and do our thing, but they somehow instinctively, they know. I wish I knew what caused them to do it. Well, I could time it better. Nature is an amazing thing. From the flash floods to the tsunamis to the mating rituals of fish. There we go, left rod, finally got us one. In the middle of the creek here. It's a carp for sure. He's running. He's running. I'm gonna let him do it too. We'll tighten down just a little bit on him now. That's another one though. He made it a little run, but he ain't fighting like, it ain't a typical carp fight. I don't know, maybe they just wore out. They have been going hard, you know. They've been getting their cardio in today. I'm still gonna enjoy the hell out of catching them though. They're an amazing fish. No respect in the United States. Nobody appreciates a carp. I used to be somebody who did. No, that ain't a carp either, by gosh. That's why he wasn't fighting like a carp, because he ate one. That's a dang blue cat. Well, how'd he be? Fooled me. He hit it initially like a carp. But it ain't. That's a bigger, a little bit bigger size blue cat. Fooled me. He tricked me there, folks. Yeah, that's well, lengthwise, he's a fun sizer. Weight-wise, though, he's a bit of a large, we'll call him a larger dink, I guess. Let me get my net. Get this new fancy, deeper net. A little bit bigger. I need to tell you all about this net. It's different than the one I've been using. I cut off part of the handle because the handle was way too long for kayak purposes. But a little bit different net. We'll get used to it, won't we, fish? Maybe not today, but a few trips, we'll get used to it. Let's get this hook out of you first. Tell your carp fans, they're the ones we want today. You just a bycatch today, catfish. Normally it's the other way around. We're trying to catch cats and anything else is a bycatch, but today, you just happen to be stealing the show. You ain't getting no front camera time though, you too skinny. I'm just gonna hold you out like that. Get on. Here you go. Yeah, this net, folks, I got it at the Bass Pro, or ordered it from the Bass Pro. It ain't much bigger in hoop size than that Walmart net I've been using the last few years. But the netting material, it's wider as far as that goes, and it's deeper. My other one, I think, was like 20 inches or 24 inches deep, and that one's 48 inches deep. So when I get a bigger catfish, I'm gonna be able to get it in the net a little easier, get the whole fish in the net. Whereas I've been kind of struggling with that to get some of the bigger ones in. I've had a harder time with that because of the depth of my other net. And the other thing with the size of the mesh is we've got our hair rig here all, what the heck have I done? Get that thing unwrapped, there we go. The size of the mesh on the other net that I've been using is real small. And sometimes the fish's fins will get kind of stuck in that netting and rip the net or kind of tear the fin a little bit. It can be kind of a pain to get out. And when I'm carp fishing, I've had my plastic corn there get ripped off because it gets hung in the net because the netting material is just so narrow. The openings are so narrow. So I wanted something with a little bit deeper net and a little bit wider loops. And so I got that one there at the Bass Pro. I looked around some catfish nets, and like the Monster Rod Holders, they make a net, but it's ridiculously priced, damn near $200. The one I saw there. Whisker Seeker makes one, but again, my gosh, it's damn near $200. I'm like, I'm not paying that for a net. So I got this at the Bass Pro. I had two gift cards. One of them I got this past Christmas. My wife's family had got me a Bass Pro gift card, and I had one, I think, from last year. It was either her family or my family. had got me a gift card. So I didn't have to pay much for this net, but I think it was I think the net was $100. So, I mean, it was a pricey net. And more than I wanted to pay for a net for sure, but it was still cheaper than the catfish nets on the market that are damn near $200. It's about half price of those. But I had to take and I cut the handle down to the size of the handle of the net I've been using. I took a hacksaw to it, and I took the rubber handle off of my other net and glued it on. So that way it's more manageable for kayak. Because I mean, a kayak, I don't need a net with a handle 4 or 5 foot long, you know. I'm just setting from the seat, and especially this kayak here, I'm up a little higher off the water. In my Lynx, I'm setting down lower to the water, so I need even less of a handle in that situation. So anyway, I got that new net we're gonna try out. When I first started, so a lot of people think that I've kayak fished forever, but in reality, I had a boat for a long time. I got my first boat when I was 17 years old, and I fished out of it for years before I ever even knew what a kayak was. So when I got a kayak, when I first started catfishing out of it, I was carrying a net with me because I'd always used the net in a boat. Well, I quickly learned I didn't like a net because these big loops, they get hung on everything. Rod holders, camera mounts. These things can hook into anything right here. Anything with an edge to it, this net can catch. So I got out of using a net. I was just landing everything by hand. And when I was using the heavy catfish gear, hell, you got 80-pound leaders. Reach down there, grab your leader. Big fish, it don't matter, they ain't gonna break it off. So I'd grab my leader, put a glove on, grab my fish, land it. Easy peasy. Well, for the last little over a year, I've been doing more light tackle fishing. And with the light tackle, using 15-pound line, I can't reach down and grab that leader on a big fish. It's gonna snap it when it tries to roll or jerks its head or whatever. So I've been forced to use a net as the left rod here got tugged on. But yeah, I got forced to use a net, so I was just using the carp net, and I got that net for carp. I got it at the Walmart, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago. And it's like $20, and it's served the purpose fine for carp. Because with the carp, you pretty much have to use a net. Their mouths, because they've got the sucker mouths and they're so soft, you'll just rip the hook out trying to get hold of them. So it's easier with carp to use a net. So that was the only thing I was using a net for, was just the carp fishing. So when I started doing the light tackle catfishing, I was just using that net. And for most fish, it's fine. But lately, I've been getting some really good quality fish, and they're just tough to get all of them in that net. So I wanted something a little bit bigger, and it's the first time I've priced nets in a long time. And I had sticker shock, to say the least. This fish is in shock here. He's gotten busted. Is he coming at us? Oh, he's coming right at us. Look at this. He's coming right at us, man. He was a hitting and getting it. I thought the line was slack. Here he comes again. He's got some speed on him, buddy. This fish has got some wheels. Some get up and go. Yeah, buddy. I still ain't got to look at it. I don't know exactly what it is or how big or anything. That's carp. Coming right at us, buddy. He couldn't wait to see you all. He said, I ain't waiting on you to reel me in. I'm gonna swim right towards you. This fish was moving as fast toward us as I was moving out of Catwoman's house back in the day. I tell you, I got the hell out of there. I mean, when you wake up and there's 10 cats at least on the bed, you've got with the wrong woman, fellas. It could happen to anybody. Blinded by hormones, blinded by a good time. It could happen to anybody. Get away from that motor, fish. Swim around. There you go. Come over here. We're gonna net you on this side. This one here ain't as big as the one we held up for front camera time, but it ain't a bad fish. These things, for their size, fight incredibly hard. And even when they're not spawning, they're pretty prevalent in the warm, at least in the warm months anyway, in these creeks and backwater areas, up on shallow flats, shallow coves. Like, you'll find a lot of carp activity in those areas, and you can have a lot of fun with them. Come here, carp. You got all that dang feeders all wrapped up in that net. There we go. There we go. We'll get that unwrapped here in a second. Let me hold him up there for some front camera time too. What do you say? Get that camera set up right there. I ain't been in this kayak in so long. I ain't got that camera mount properly positioned. Y'all admire my hat there for a second while I get hold of this fish. Kayak Catfish hat's available at catfishsumo.com, by the way. There he is. Just a smaller one, but hey, I'll take it. That was a fun time. Get out of here, good buddy. Go back over there, find you another door with a pineapple on it. I need to research that. But why do they put a pineapple? Why do them swinging people put pineapples out on their door? I don't get it. I don't understand the logic behind it. I probably don't want to know the logic behind it. But one of these days I'm going to be bored and I'm going to think about it and I'm going to look it up, and I'm probably going to get more of an education than what I want to get. I will say, so far with the carp rigs, it's easier getting them undone from the bigger net here than what it is on the other net that I've been using with the smaller loops. Ah, crap. Well, somehow I must have run it through the other way. Well, here I have, folks. I've lied to you. I said, yeah, it's easier getting out of this than the other, and here I have probably tangled it up even worse. I think I made it worse, y'all. How the hell did I make it worse? I've done it though. Bear with me a second here, folks. The joys of doing an unedited video when you make a fool of yourself. It's on display for the whole world to see. Thankfully, there's probably only 12 people watching at this point. Hopefully, Catwoman ain't watching. Wonder how many. I need to look that girl up, see if she's married or see what's going on with her. I ain't thought about her in forever. Somehow or another, we got on the topic today, bringing back old memories. Not necessarily good ones. All right, we got untangled there. Let's get reset here. Get us some more pack bait. We're gonna get us another worm on there. I went with the night crawlers last time I bought some. I seem to like the red worms a little better. I think they're a little bit more I think the red worm's a little bit more lively. Them Canadian night crawlers, it's almost like they know they're in America. Like, we ain't in our home country, we're on vacation. And when we're on vacation, we're gonna relax and be lazy like you do on vacation, and so they don't wiggle around as much. If we were in Canada using these things, I guarantee you they'd act a little better. They'd be more lively, more wiggly. But I ain't never been to Canada, and honestly, I probably never will go, because why would I? Yeah, there's some good fishing up there. At least it's what I hear, but it's cold in Canada. I don't like the cold. So I don't know that I'd ever go up there. I do got to renew my passport soon. Not that y'all give a crap, but I did get an email about that not too long ago. I got to renew it. All right, let's cast back out over here. We're gonna leave that one on the left out in the middle for just a little bit longer, but I ain't too impressed. I ain't very impressed with that rod on the left, anything about it to this point. It has really let us down on all fronts. I don't know why we can't seem to get bit on that thing. We'll kick back and relax here again for a minute till the next fish comes along. Right there was more shad. I mean, there's shad flipping here in this creek too. So there's a ton of food back here for these catfish, between the carp eggs, the shad. Like, there's a lot going on. I mean, there's a whole school of shad right here. I mean, I've seen several flips now. Truth be told, though, I throw the cast net in here, I'm probably going to pull up a net full of carp. Getting them things out of the cast net, buddy, whew. They can do some damage to your net, that's for sure. The craziest cast net catch, though, happened probably, I guess, about a month ago now. And I've got just a shorts video on the channel and on my Facebook page, but I somehow or another threw over top of a sturgeon. And it was a pretty long sturgeon too, and I only use a 6-foot cast net. So I must have hit it just right. Like, it must have hit just like perfectly pancaked right over the top of its back. And I pulled that dang sturgeon up. I'm like, I can't believe that. And I've never caught a sturgeon, ever. Like, pretty much everybody I know has caught one, except for me. And you would think as much time as I spend catfishing, I'd just luck into one. But I haven't. Never have. And I ended up getting one to cast net. That was the craziest thing. And it done some damage to my net too, by gosh. I had some extra holes in it. When it was done, I like to never got it out. It was all tangled up and wrapped up in it, because them sturgeons got them, like, I don't know what you call them, they're kind of spiny, I guess. I mean, like, you can get hold of them, but like, they're kind of spiny, and those things get caught in the net. Oh, left rod was getting tugged on. Something gave it a tug. It won't be long, folks. We're gonna catch us another. If that rod on the left, the next time it gets hit, if it ends up being another catfish, and I don't mind catching the cats, but I came out here hoping to get some carp today. We may move it a little bit back to the left again. I wish what I'd really like, and we can't see it because of the muddy water, but in perfect conditions, here's what we would do. We would have our baits right on the edge of the weed line. Now, we can see the edge of the weed line that's on the water's edge right now, But because this water just recently come up, there's a lot of grass that's submerged that we can't see because it's so muddy. But somewhere it goes from grassy bottom to mud bottom. I'd like to have our baits right on that edge, but we just can't. We can't see because of the muddy water. Now, with as much rain as we've had, and the fact that we're supposed to get some more this evening, just kind of intermittent storms and downpours and stuff, like this water's going to be muddy for a good while. Like this is going to be an ongoing thing, the mud. I'm very conflicted though on what to do tomorrow. Like, do I go catfishing and hopefully find some fish that aren't on the nest? You know, my last trip out, I got skunked, but was that just a bad day? Was I in a wrong stretch of river? I'd hit a different stretch of river I hadn't been fishing. So maybe that was it. Maybe it was just bad timing. I don't know. It was an odd thing. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I get skunked, okay? Everybody does. I don't care how good a fisherman you're talking to. Everybody gets skunked from time to time. Now, there's things you can do to mitigate it. Like you can do certain techniques that will keep you from getting skunked as much. Like for instance, if I dragged baits all the time, like every trip I went out, if I was pulling baits, especially if you're pulling planer boards and you can fish way more rods, for instance, like you're not going to get skunked as often doing that because you're covering so much water, right? The more water you cover, the more likely you are to put a bait in front of an active fish. So you're not going to get skunked as often doing that technique. Now, I don't like doing that very much. I don't like pulling planer boards at all. I quit doing that because I hate it. It's not fun at all. But even dragging, like I enjoy dragging, but it's not, if I can suspend, I'd rather suspend, for sure. And I really, when I suspend, oftentimes I anchor. I'll set on a place and wait on fish to come to me. Well, when you do that, if you're in the wrong place or the wrong time or whatever, you're going to have some skunk days. So when I'm anchoring, I'm going to get skunked more frequently than when I'm on the move, whether it be dragging or drifting or whatever. So what I was getting at, like just this time of year, when you've got warm water temperatures, metabolism's high, we've been working toward the spawn, I would suspect when I go drifting, I'm gonna catch something. Now, I may not catch a bunch. It may not be a lights out day. I may not get a big fish, may not catch a ton of fish, but I'm gonna catch something usually. So that day was very weird, and then I didn't even get a bite. Like, I mean, just nothing. And I covered a lot of water. I mean, I was moving like 0.3, 0.4 miles an hour, slow. Current wasn't much that day. But I mean, you fish 4 or 5 hours and you multiply that out. I mean, you do the math. I mean, you covered well over a mile and still couldn't find anything willing to eat. So, as a fisherman, you got to make an excuse, and you say, well, all them fish are on the nest, they moved up on the spawn. But are they really? I don't know. If the carp are this late, maybe the catfish are going to be super late going on the nest too. I would have thought, just logically speaking, because of the things we mentioned earlier, how it got warmer this year, quicker, water temperatures warmed up quicker, everything would happen sooner, but maybe not. So maybe there's still some pre-spawn catfish to be had, and if I go out tomorrow doing that, we can get back on those. But there could be a ton more carp in here tomorrow too. And I can honestly, folks, I cannot believe we're not just catching carp one after another. I mean, that's literally how it's been. And other times where I fished the spawn, like it's just, you can't keep, I mean, there's a video on my channel and it's from 3 or 4 years ago. I can't remember what it's titled. But you can go to the carp playlist and find it there. But I literally had to go down to fishing one rod because I was just catching so many carp. Like, I would cast the line out and a fish would almost instantly be on it because there was just so many. And it was that video, it was actually filmed on this exact spot. If memory serves me, I think I was pulled up in the weeds on that side casting over here. And it was just one fish after another after another. It was amazing. It was one of the best carp trips I've ever had. But that's typically how it goes when you get on spawning fish. But we're not having that today. Not yet. There are some, I mean, I'm still seeing them. Oh, I mean, you can see them right now all up on that grass over there. You may not be able to see them very good. I can't zoom on this camera, but like you can see the water disruption over there. Maybe hear them splashing around and stuff. The ones on the left, there's a small cluster, 50 yards or so down there on the left. But, oh, we got one here. Well, we had him. He hit it. He hit it. Did he get our worm, you think? Oh, I think he's back on it. I'm gonna leave this in my hand here a second, folks. I felt him. I felt him with it again. Well, must just hit my line. I wonder if that worm's still on there. I gotta reel it in and check. I need to tighten my, Lord, we're about to lose our reel handle off here, folks. That thing can come undone. That'd have been a blooper. Lose the reel handle. Yeah, he sure did get our worm. Dang, call the law. One of you's call the dang law. They've done stole from us here. Dang old stealing fish. I had a fella reach out recently. That's been a few weeks ago. I still got the email though. Now he was telling me his concoction for catching buffalo. I've heard similar things this before too. Like I catch a fair number of buffalo while I'm carp fishing. I don't suspect we'll catch any today, but I mean just a normal average trip. If they're around, I've caught some. I couldn't go out today. If you told me, Justin, go out today and catch some buffalo, the likelihood of me being successful, very slim. But I had a fella reach out and he was talking about how buffalo like stuff that are more sour. Carp like stuff that are sweet. Buffalo like stuff that are sour. So he was telling me about his chili powder mix. We're going to try that at some point. I'd been told, I guess a couple years ago, about buffalo liking soybeans, the soybean meal specifically, mixtures, doing real good with that. And so I bought a big bag of soybean meal. And I'll be damned if I didn't catch more carp on that than I did buffalo. But nevertheless, I am willing to try new things. So we're going to try the chili powder mix at some point this summer and see what we can get into. He just said when he's talking about his mixture, he said he catches a lot of buffalo with that, but he don't catch as many carp with it. And I want to be able to catch both because you take an area like this today, I don't think there's probably any buffalo in here. I don't think they probably are. I think they've probably been rooted out by the spawning carp. Usually if I see schools of stuff, I'll see schools of carp or schools of buffalo. And sometimes you'll kind of notice on the carp trips, like you'll be catching some carp, and then you'll start catching some buffalo, and then you'll catch some carp, like they come through, not necessarily together. And I don't want to limit myself. And so that's why I started kind of, like, we don't need to put a worm on these rigs. The plastic corn will catch the fish. When they're there sucking up the breadcrumbs and the corn from the pack bait mix, they will suck up the plastic corn and get your hook there from the plastic corn on the hair rig. And that's true of the carp, buffalo, the catfish, all of it will do it. But the worms have gotten me more buffalo. And the carp certainly like the worms too, and so do the catfish. But I started catching more buffalo when I added the worms to the hook. So that's why we do the worms in addition. And it's a situation too where if the worm gets eaten, maybe a bluegill or turtle or whatever, or the worm, maybe in your cast, the worm comes off the hook, you're not just sitting there with a bare hook. You've got you are, but I mean, you've got the plastic corn there on the hair rig, and it's very durable. Like, you can put real corn on the hair rig or a piece of fruit or vegetable, whatever, but you're going to be replacing it every time. The plastic's durable. It's going to last a bunch of fish. Hell, these are the same rigs here I've had tied on all spring. And that one rig survived what I think was a snapping turtle, because, I mean, the wire's crushed, and it would take something with some bite power to do that. It ain't gonna be no carp that's gonna do it. Maybe a catfish, but I would say it was probably a snapping turtle. Just smashed that thing. But it's still functional. And you can get them feeders there. There's a link down in the video description, but they're on Amazon. You can get them from Carp Sumo. Carp Sumo it's a division of Catfish Sumo, but they've got rods and tackle and everything you need to go carp fishing. They've got it. But the nice thing about carp fishing, and why I'm surprised that more people don't give it a chance. I mean, yes, there's a cultural issue in America, not in the rest of the world. No, the rest of the world, carp are respected. They're a sport fish in Europe and Africa and other parts of the planet, but here in America specifically, people think less of you if you go carp fishing. But I'm surprised, honestly, more people don't give it a chance because you need so little to do it. I mean, I've got the fancy carp rods now, but when I was first getting started, I was using my bass rods. Now, I snapped one of them in half trying to pull a carp up on the bank. I guess I high-sticked my rod and snapped a damn thing. But the point is, it's doable. You don't have to go out and buy specialized gear other than maybe your feeders. And you don't have to even use those. Like, you can take a regular egg sinker or no roll sinker, just any kind of lead, and pack your pack bait around it. It won't hold as good as a feeder, but it's doable. And, your baits, gosh, I mean, everything's available at the grocery store. Breadcrumbs, oatmeal, whatever, you need something. You could use bread, just, plain bread there. Like, you need something to draw the carp's attention to your rig, but otherwise, I mean, it's pretty simple setup. And so the barrier to entry with carp fishing is way less than you take something like bass fishing, where, I mean, my gosh, you got 100 different lures. Like, you don't necessarily need all that to go bass fishing, but like if you were wanting to be a quote unquote bass fisherman, you're going to need a few different rod and reel combos, bunch of different lures, swim baits, crankbaits, spinner baits, plastic worms, like the whole 9 yards, you know. Like the barrier to entry in bass fishing is a little higher because you need more gear. With catfishing, kind of less than bass fishing. Like, I mean, hell, most of my catfish trips nowadays are with 2 rods. And the terminal tackle is very simple, but you got to have a way to get catfish bait. Yeah, you can go use some chicken from the grocery store, and you'll catch a bunch of fish with it. But if you want to go after larger fish, trophy fish, try to catch those fish more consistently, you're going to need a way to catch bait. So are you going to need other rod and reel combos to catch your bait? You going to get a cast net? Like it takes more money to get into it. But something like carp fishing, a few dollars at the grocery store, you got your bait. Use whatever rod and reel combo you already have. If you've already got a spinning rod set up of some sort, and you're good to go. You can do this from the bank. You can do it from a boat, a kayak. I think it's easier doing it from the bank if you have bank access. The thing about a boat or a kayak is you want to keep, when you cast your bait out there, you want to keep it there, because that chum is going to fall off your feet. The breadcrumbs are going to fall off your feeder, and that's where you want the carp coming to feed, right? So if, let's say the wind's blowing, or maybe you're out on the main lake or main river and you got boat traffic, your boat or your kayak's getting swung around every which way. Well, if you've cast your bait out here and the wind blows your boat over here, well, it's going to drag your line a long ways away from your chum pile. So you want to keep everything straight. Now, you could use in a boat, maybe a 2-anchor system, a front and back, so you kind of limit your sway. Out here today with this kayak, I've got these anchor poles on the sides here, so that keeps me kind of locked in place, so I don't get a lot of back and forth movement there. If we just had one of these anchor poles, anytime the wind would blow or we hook up to a fish, we would have a weather vaning effect. It'd be all over the place. So this helps keep everything kind of set where we are. Whereas when you're fishing on the bank, well, that's easy because there's nothing to move your baits other than a fish. So anyhow, the point I'm getting at, the barrier to entry with carp fishing is very minimal. Like, it's a very easy thing to start doing. Now, if you get into it, you may want to get some specialized rods. You may want to look into some of the fancier rigs and setups. Me, when I go, I'm trying to keep things simple. Like carp fishing for me, I want to get better at it. I want to learn more about it. But for me, for the most part, when I go carp fishing, it's kind of just it's a way for me to get away, right? Like when I'm catfishing, I'm usually out on the main river, lots of boat traffic. You can't hide from boats out on the main river. And this time of year, man, when it's warm, you've got not only regular fishing boats, you got jet skis, you got houseboats, you got the wakeboarders. Everybody's out there. But I can come back up in these creeks like this, and hopefully today we won't see a single person. Hopefully we'll have this place to ourselves all morning out here. So carp fishing for me is kind of a chance, an opportunity to do some fun fishing, but away from civilization a little bit. So if I can keep things really simple, and like everything I've bought for the carp fishing today, right? All the breadcrumbs, corn, jello, I buy that stuff, man. When I go to the store, when I leave out, I got a whole buggy full. Like the cashier at Walmart, man, when I'm done, she probably thinks like, man, this guy must eat corn 3 meals a day, every day of the week, with how many cans of corn I'm rolling out there with. But I will put that stuff, I'll go in the spring, buy a bunch of it, and I got a shelf in the closet there in my office, and I just stack it all on there, all them cans of breadcrumbs, corn, Jello, all that. And then when I'm ready to fish, well, it takes a couple minutes, just mix it all up in a bag, and I'm ready to go. And so I keep things pretty simple. This mixture, it works. It catches a bunch of fish. It keeps well. It's cheap. I stick with it. Some of the other mixtures, and everybody's got their own recipes, man. Of course, I don't have comments on this channel anymore, but when I did, man, everybody would be commenting their favorite recipe. I've gotten a bunch of emails, social media stuff, posts. Like, everybody's got their own favorite recipe. They all catch fish. Like, the point is, they all catch fish. I don't think carp are very discriminatory when it comes to bait. Now, in places where they're highly pressured, they are. You get over in Europe and England and places where people are fishing for them around the clock every day. Yeah, those fish they've seen a lot of hooks. Most of the fish we're going to catch out here probably never been hooked before. Most of them probably never seen a hook. Like, there's so many carp, statistically, maybe me and you, fish that have been in, maybe spawn in this creek every year, maybe we've stuck them before, but they're not seeing a bait all the time. Like, they're not being exposed to that much. So for me, I'm like, well, if we know all of these baits work, why do much experiment? When I'm just coming out and getting away from people and wanting to catch a few fish, well, hell, we can do that with something simple. Whereas some of these mixtures either require more expensive ingredients, or it's stuff that, like some of them, like, I remember there was one concoction, I don't remember the exact ingredients, but the person had told me, but they were using like maple syrup, like pancake syrup. That was part of their mixture. And I'm like, I do not want to be mixing up pack bait with pancake syrup. You know how sticky and nasty your hands are going to be all day? Like, hell, I don't want that all on me. And some people will mix up, they'll have some pack bait material and they'll pour a grape soda or an orange soda or something like that on there. Well, again, you're mixing that pack bait up, putting it on your feeders with your hands. With all that soda in the mix, you're going to have sticky hands all day. Like this, like you can see here in my wedding ring, I've got some pack bait that's dried and stuck to it. I got a little Jello mix there on my hands. You can feel it on there. But for the most part, my hands are clean right now. They're not sticky. They're not a mess. Now, I know you're saying right now, well, Justin, you're a damn pansy. You don't want your hands sticky. Well, maybe I am pansy, but I don't want my hands sticky all morning. I don't want to be sitting out here with damn maple syrup stuck to my hands. So I want a pack bait mixture that's going to catch fish, obviously. Number one, if this didn't work, I wouldn't use it. But I also want it that's going to keep well, that's cheap, and not leave my hands a mess. So that's why I use what I use. And again, I got this. I did not come up with this. This isn't my original mixture here. I found this on the Catfish and Carp YouTube channel. I watched a video of his the other day. I think he's pretty well stopped doing YouTube. He ain't posted on the Catfish and Carp channel forever, but he had started the Outdoor Boys channel with his kids. And then he stopped doing that because he was going to focus on helping his kids and kind of get out of the spotlight a little bit. But he had done I forget what school it was for, but he done a commencement ceremony speech there at their graduation. And it was a pretty good speech. I sit there and watch the video, and he's somebody, Luke Nichols, his name. Man, if there was a YouTube Mount Rushmore he's number one. He's actually probably number one and number two on Mount Rushmore for me, because he's not only climbed the mountaintop once with the Catfish and Carp channel, then he done it again with the Outdoor Boys, and that channel got even bigger. So in the outdoor genre of YouTube, like if he's not the most successful of all time, he's up there. I mean, I don't know anybody that's had more success on YouTube in the outdoor fishing genre than him. So if I could pick his brain for an hour, just a phone conversation, my gosh, how enlightening that would be. And I'm not a phone call person. Like, I'm not somebody, hell, I'm not a social person at all. I'm gonna reel this one on the left end, and we're gonna move it to the left. Hell, our worm's going off there. Our pack bait, our worm, everything's going off there. Hell, ain't no wonder we ain't catching nothing. I'd say that current probably washed our pack bait down. I don't know what happened with our worm. But, you know, I'm not a social person. I don't really like talking to random people. I don't like chit chat. I'm not a chit chat person. When I talk with somebody, if I'm going to conversate with somebody, I want the conversation to have some substance to it. It needs to be, it needs to be beneficial to both people in the conversation, not just, well, how's the weather? Did you catch any fish today? I can't stand that type of stuff. So I'm just not, I'm not super social. But I would totally, man, I would. Of course, Luke Nichols don't even know who the heck I am. I'm not even on his radar. But man, what I wouldn't give for a phone conversation to just pick his brain. Just ask him. I have so many questions I'd like to ask him. Because, I mean, and I don't want to undersell it, like, I've had some success on this YouTube channel. A lot of people have had success on YouTube one time with one channel. But he done it twice. And I mean, still to this day, like, he hasn't posted on the Catfish and Carp YouTube channel in forever. And he still, because his channel, was so big, he still gets more views per month than anybody else in the genre on a channel that he quit posting on forever ago. Like, that's just, he's on a different level with, like, there's levels to YouTube, right? Like, there's, anybody can do it. Anybody can be a YouTuber. You got a cell phone, internet connection, a way to upload a video. Like, anybody can make a YouTube video, and therefore you're a YouTuber. But there's levels to it. There's just posting videos. Then there's posting videos with a purpose. You get a little traction with your channel. Then there's doing it well enough that you can make a little money on it. Then there's doing it well enough that you can make a living on it. And then there's doing it to a level where you can make kind of generational wealth. And that's what Luke was able to do, not only once, but twice. And, I mean, he's made millions on YouTube, folks. Millions. Plural. And that's impressive to me. Like, that's, so I've got a ton of respect for him. But the likelihood of me it's not like I'm going to bump into him at the grocery store. He lives in Alaska now, so, I ain't going to run into the guy. Oh, our right rod. Our line's it was tight and slack and tight. Something hit it. Go on now. Something was around our bait. We'll give it a little while and reel it in. He may have got our worm. I'm in shock that we're not catching more fish than we are. I mean, we've caught some fish out here today. But what we at, like 3 carp? I think that's it, 3 carp. few more catfish. I'm honestly in shock. It's still nice to be back out on the water. I've been, you know, I had hoped, and don't get me wrong, we needed the rain, bad. I mean, we've been in a drought. We get most of our rain in Tennessee in the winter, early spring. And so it was real dry this past winter. And so we've been in a drought, and it's kept, even now, even after all this rain, our water's still down. It's like, we needed it. But by gosh, we got it all at once. I mean, day after day, just monsoons, just waves of heavy rain all day. And just, I mean, it's kept me in the house. I've been cooped up, man. I'm so happy to be back out on the water. Hell, we could be catching sticks and turtles out here, and I hope we don't, but we could, and it'd be nice just to get tug on the line. So I'm happy to be back out on the water. I really ain't done much at home, y'all. I've been, well, I thought I heard something behind me back here. Anytime I'm around high grass like this, I just imagine snakes coming out of it every which way. But I ain't done much at home. I got caught up on all of my video stuff. Every video I have is uploaded. Well, with the exception, well, by the time you're seeing this, the catfish video with Daphne the dog and the bicycle should be out, but I have not been able to film the bicycle segment yet because it's been so damn wet. I've got to get that done. But you've probably seen that. You should have, hopefully you've seen that, because I like everything in my videos to go chronological order. So you should have seen that before you've seen this video. But I ain't been able to film that yet. But everything else I've gotten done, uploaded. These long videos I've edited down to put on my second channel for next year. So I've gotten a lot of that stuff done. And I've played a lot of Mario Kart. Like I've gotten better in the last week at Mario Kart than I've gotten in the last few months. Uh-oh, a right rod. Oh, he's running. He's running. Get him, y'all. We got a runner. This one was cast up closer to the weeds over there. I'm curious if we got us a carp. Do we have the intended species this time? I hope we do. Oh no, get him, tell him to go the other way. He's going over there toward the other line, folks. I think he's gonna go under it. Yeah, he went under it. He said he's gonna go where he wants. He's coming at us now. That's another catfish. That's a bigger one. There is just a bunch of catfish in here. We definitely, tomorrow, if we fish this again, if y'all talk me into coming back here again, we're gonna have a carp rod and a catfish rod at the very least. What we may do tomorrow, I was talking about bringing a third rod. We might put a catfish rod right down the middle of this creek and then have a carp off to the side and then a carp rod behind us. But I mean, there's a bunch of cats in here, and I have to believe, man, if they're eating the worm and the pack bait, you better believe they'd eat some cut bait if we got it out there. And this one here, I mean, it was up. We'd casted this one up a little bit shallower over there. So that tells me he was up there trying to get them dang eggs. You trying to do your part here, ain't you, catfish? Trying to control the carp population. There we go. Yeah, I'm just going to hold you out here for the camera. I mean, he's a larger dink. Eater size for those of you that like to eat you a catfish dinner once in a while. I wouldn't eat that one. He'd probably make you glow in the dark with the contamination, but sizing anyway. Be a good eater size if you wanted to keep one. And it may be dumb. It may be dumb to come back here and bring cut bait, because I mean, we might get dinked to death. It might just be a bunch of small fish, but I have to believe if there's this many small fish up here, there's got to be some better quality cats in here too. There has to be. There has to be at least a few. So I think if we're able to fish tomorrow, I think that's going to be the plan. We come back to the same spot with some cut bait, along with our carp rigs here, which, you know, at this point in the trip, folks, I got to say I'm a little disappointed in the carp. I built it up. I was super excited when I saw all this spawning activity, but it has not panned out today like I had hoped. Not yet, anyway. I think that worm there, no, he's alive. He's wiggling. I thought that worm right there is about dead and rotted. All right, let's throw back over there. But I've said it a gazillion times on these videos. You gotta take what the river gives you. If I could script this, I'd be catching 100-pounders every day. But fishing, it ain't scripted, folks. You can wish things to happen and want things to happen, and you can put yourself in positions to succeed. You do the right thing long enough, you're gonna eventually have some success and get the results you want. But to think it's gonna happen on any given day when you leave your house, like, I'm gonna make this happen today, like, it's a little bit foolish, because it just don't work out like that. Is this right rod's already getting hit again? Something's over there after it. We got another wave of fish on the shoreline here working its way up. I got my eye on the right rod right now, though. The way that line was jumping around makes me think maybe it was a fish's tail somewhere around it hitting the line. I've seen some videos, and you can find them on YouTube. I've never tried it, but there's some videos of people who have put a camera right there at their chum pile, and they see fish come in. You can kind of see how carp feed. It's pretty enlightening to see how they move through the chum and how they suck up the baits and stuff. I've never personally done that myself, like put a camera underwater to see it. Of course, out here today wouldn't even be worth trying because water's chocolate milk. Well, the visibility's so poor, we wouldn't really be able to see much, but I'm always fascinated when I see those videos and see how they eat. The way they can suck up something and spit it out almost as fast. Like it's pretty impressive. That's why the hair rig works. Like, you've got your corn or plastic bait, whatever, on that little piece of line below the hook, and they suck up that corn and they get the hook too, because the hooks are so small and lightweight. That's one of the things too, like with me doing the light tackle catfishing, and really it's been over a year now that I've been pretty hard at the light tackle stuff, man. I really, it was, I guess toward the end of last spring where I really started focusing on that more, and I'm super into it, man. That's, when I go catfishing now, like I don't even really want to take the heavy gear. Unless I'm in a tournament, I don't even really want to take the heavy gear. I just want to use the light stuff. I've been having so much fun with it. But I've been using small hooks. And my favorite hooks are the #1 size Kale style or shiner hooks. Although I'm going to be trying our next, well, if our next catfish trip's tomorrow in this creek, it won't be what I'm going to be using tomorrow. But coming up, the next time we go drifting, we're going to be using a different setup. I've got us a saltwater setup we're going to try. Stay tuned for that. That's coming. We're gonna mix things up a little bit, but it'll be a different kind of hook, different rig. But doing the light tackle catfishing using the #1, I mean, small hooks, and catching big catfish. I mean, I've pulled in some whoppers with them small hooks without bending them, without breaking them, without bending the hook points or dulling them. Like, it's worked really well. And I'll tell you, the carp fishing, well, there's two things that got me kind of more confident, I guess you can say, with the smaller hooks for catfish. But two things. First off is the carp fishing. So out here today, we're using #6 size hooks, very small. And I've caught some really nice carp and some bigger catfish and some big buffalo on those tiny hooks. Now, yes, carp and buffalo, their mouths are much smaller for the size of the fish than, say, something like a big blue cat, right? A big blue cat has a big mouth. But the point is, if you can catch a big carp or big buffalo, especially the carp, because the carp fight so hard, they pull so hard, if you can catch them on a #6 size hook, then why the hell are we using such big hooks for catfish all the time? The other thing that got me pretty confident in using the smaller hooks for the catfish, or at least trying it. Now I've got a ton of confidence now because I've had so much success. But the other thing, there's another influencer, you know, what do you call us fishermen on YouTube nowadays? Influencers, I guess, content creators. He's a fishing guide too. But it's a fellow down in Texas named Henry. He's got a alligator gar guide service called Catching Dinosaurs. And I remember back, it's probably been 2 or 3 years ago now, but he was talking about using small, and I can't remember, was he using #1 or a 1/0 size? But it was a small hook either way for the size of the fish he was catching. I mean, he's down there getting them alligator gar that are 6 to 8 foot long. Things probably weigh a couple 100 pounds, I imagine. I mean, huge, monstrous fish. And he's using little tiny, either #1 or 1/0 size hooks. And now his rationale with doing that, a lot of them people down there that are doing that style of fishing, they're using big treble hooks and other big hooks. And those gar, and I've never caught an alligator gar, but from watching the videos and social media posts, from what I can gather, and some of you out there watching, listening to this video right now know more about it than I do, but the gar, you got to let them eat the bait a little bit because their mouths are super hard. So you need to get that bait. You got to let them take the bait a while and then set the hook. Well, when you do that, a lot of those fish are going to be gut hooked. They're going to get that hook way back in the mouth. And if I remember correctly, Henry's rationale was like, well, if you're using a little tiny hook and you get that farther back in their mouth or down in their throat or something, they're going to be way more likely to survive than if you've got a big giant treble hook stuck back there that's going to block. Even if you've only got one prong of it that's dug in, like the rest of the hook's going to block off, make it difficult for them to eat. So, you know, for conservation purposes, it was better to use the smaller hooks. And he was using those small hooks and catching huge gar that are 6 to 8 foot long. And I'm like, man, if he can catch fish that big on those tiny hooks, why are we using such giant, why am I using 10-aught size hooks for catfish? Now you can say, well, if you're using a big bait, you need a big hook. And there's some truth to that. Like you want to match, and ideally you want to match your hook to the size of the bait. But like with Henry down there doing the gar fishing, he was bridling his baits. You know, a lot of saltwater fishermen will bridle their baits where they'll use like there's bridle needles, I guess. I think Henry was using mortician needles, but you poke a hole through your bait with some like dental floss or other line, make a loop around it with your hook. And so your hook sits on top of the bait, like your hook itself. Like normally as catfishermen, we run the hook through the bait. In this situation, the line goes through the bait with your hook on top of it. And that's what he was doing, so he was able to use them tiny hooks, even with larger chunks of bait. And you see that down in the saltwater fishermen a lot too. That's something that catfishermen, I'm sure there's some catfishermen that do it, but it's one of those things that's just not, it's not mainstream in the catfish world. It's never really took off. And now our left rod got a little nibble. But it just, for whatever reason, bridling baits never really took off in the catfishing world. And I actually saw a product, it's been, and I've got some still at the house, I never use them. It was a product though, that was, I thought was pretty smart. It's a zip tie, and I've done forgot the name of the company that makes them now. I'd shout them out. I don't even know if they're still in business, honestly. I never see them. But it's basically a zip tie, but at the end of the zip tie, instead of it just being like a flat piece of plastic that you run through the other end to lock it, it's got a point. So it's kind of like a bridle needle, a plastic bridle needle zip tie. So you would run that zip tie around your bait, and then at the top where, so you run the needle through, the plastic needle, through the bait, then snip the needle part off, and then you've got just a regular zip tie at that point that you zip down and place around the bait. And then there's a little just thin plastic tab that you would then run your hook point through. So instead of like the dental floss or bridle material, the line, whatever, tying your hook to the top of the bait, you would just run your hook through that little tiny piece of plastic. I got some of them things, and I used them before. I can't remember if I've used them on video or not. But hell of an idea. Whoever come up with that, like, pretty smart idea. I feel like they've missed an opportunity with poor marketing, because that should be something that more catfishermen, myself included, should use. But I never see them. I don't even know if they're still in business, honestly. But it was a damn good idea. But it's just one of those things, culturally speaking, it never really took off in the catfishing world. Nobody, well, I won't say nobody, because I'm sure people do it, but like on a mainstream type level, what you see out of other YouTubers and people on social media and the tournament guys, at least the ones that'll share information, like you just don't see people bridling baits. But in the saltwater world, they do it all the time. So that's one of those things, I don't know, maybe it'll catch fire at some point, kind of take over the catfish world, but it ain't happened yet. What was that? Did you hear that? Sounded like something's over there in them woods. It sounded like metal. I don't know what the hell that was. I don't think there'd be anybody over there. That grass is pretty tall. I heard something though. Something was over there. I heard it again. Maybe it's a long ways over there. Maybe sound's just carrying. Hell, they've probably heard our whole conversation today over there. They're like, who the hell's over there flapping their gums nonstop? Some dumbass out there in a kayak got 100 spawning carp around him, can't catch a nary one. I just cannot believe we're not getting, I just can't believe we're not getting a bunch of action. I'm just blown away at that. Like every time I found spawning carp, it's an easy bite. And today, while we have gotten some carp, we're just not getting them one after another after another. The catfish have far and away dominated the carp today. And even though we ain't got any big catfish yet, nothing real big, there's part of me that's just super curious. And of course, I can't, it ain't like we can just say, well, I do have my cast net here, but it ain't like we can say, well, let's throw the cast net and get some shad. Because I don't have any, we could use these rods here, don't get me wrong, but I don't have any rigs. I don't have any catfish rigs. All that stuff's in my links. Boy, I can see the tails of the carp. They're so far into the weeds right there on the shore. There's carp all over right here. We just can't get any of them to bite. I probably need to check both of these lines at this point just to see if we've got, I can't remember how long it's been since we've rebaited now, but I know this one for sure got hit. I think I may, yeah, all our pack bait and worm, everything's gone on this. I'm glad I checked it. I think we're gonna on this one, we're gonna cast over there right on the edge of the weeds again. I wanna put it right over there. We're gonna try that. Because they're just not coming for it, that's for sure. But I am curious, what could we do if we had some cut bait in here today? Or some live bait for that matter. I don't know that cut or live would probably be fine. Of course, with all the shad we've seen flipping, it might be a little bit more difficult to get the live bait noticed versus the cut bait that would be bleeding and putting off some scent. But tomorrow, if we can fish, if Mother Nature will allow it, it looks like it could rain at any time right now. I hope it don't. Even though we've got our poor man's umbrella. That wasn't as close to the weeds as what I had hoped, but it's at least closer. I tell you what, let's do that again. Let's do it again. I'm gonna try to get right on that edge over there. I think we're about to lose part of that pack bait. There we go, that's better. Okay, let's do that. This one here, I think I'm gonna do the same thing. We're gonna put it in them damn weeds. This one still had some pack bait on, just a smidge, but our worm's gone. we've burned through quite a bit of this pack bait today for no more fish than we've caught. But as I tell you all the time on these unedited videos, man, that's fishing. Like, whatever happens, happens. We can hope to have productive days, hope to catch big fish, lots of them. But as Mike Tyson so famously said, everybody's got a plan till they get punched in the face. And sometimes you leave the house with the best of intentions and it just don't pan out. Sometimes you leave your house with minimal expectations and you have an awesome lights out day. It's just, you just gotta, whatever the river gives you on a particular day, you just gotta roll with it. All right. Okay. There it is. Way in them weeds right there. We're gonna try that for a little while. Get up in them damn weeds. I don't know if we can catch any less carp with our baits just up in the weeds than what we have with them out being away from it just a little bit. I mean, I'm seeing enough carp that we should be getting them more frequently than we are. Let's tighten up that line a little bit there. Yeah, folks, this past week, man, it's been a kind of a boring week for me. Stuck at the house, a lot of Mario Kart. Me and my wife's been getting caught up on some shows. Lord, now I got this line super tight. I mean, just give us a little bit of play there. There we go. We've been getting caught up on some shows. We've been watching the final season of The Boys on Amazon. I think we got one episode left, 1 or 2 episodes left of it. It's pretty good, but there was too much time. Too much time between seasons. I can't even remember when the last season of The Boys came out. 2 years ago, maybe? Like, I mean, it's been forever. I want to go on a rant with you for a second. Here, go with me on this, folks. This is totally not fishing related. And it'll be a little bit longer-winded story than me telling about the Catwoman girl. But go with me on this, because I think this is a hell of an idea. And one of y'all out there listening to this right now may be working in Hollywood and can maybe do something about this. Because this is a real problem in the TV, Netflix, whatever, you know, normal TV show type deal. This is a real problem. And it's been a problem for a long time. And we live in a different world now, man. We're 2026. TV networks, Netflix, Amazon, like, they need to get with the times. So I'm gonna make a proposal to you, okay? Well, first off, let's just discuss how the TV show, I'm still even though it's like Netflix, Amazon, streaming service, like to me, it's on TV, it's a TV show. But here's how they currently work, right? So Netflix, Amazon, they will green light a show. They're gonna do 1 season of this show. So the director goes out, he does the cast, yada, 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 they film. Everything gets edited, it gets put on Netflix. If the show does good in season 1, starts getting some traction, they will bring it back for season 2. Then the director, they gotta do the script, film the episodes, edit it, post it. So now you've got a year and a half, sometimes in the case of The Boys show here we've been watching, even longer. Now you've got this huge break, this huge gap in time between seasons. And the momentum is lost. Like, you know, we've been into this show, The Boys, right? But so much time had passed between the last season coming out and this season, I couldn't even remember what happened. We had to go back and watch the recap of what had happened to lead up to this season. And I have to believe, like, that's had to have happened to you all too, right? Like you've got some show you're into and one season ends and we're distracted. I mean, there's something on social media all the time. There's some new show coming out all the time, of course, sports and whatnot too. It's like when you have a year or more break between seasons, any momentum, any hype for the show, it's gone. And then, of course, it'll ramp back up and they'll promote it and be like, oh, yeah, The Boys, I like that. Yeah, well, I can't wait till the new season comes out. But then you got to go back and get the recap to remember what even happened. So here's what I would suggest. Because things work so much quicker now, everything moves faster in society now. Like what's hot today may not be hot next week. For damn sure ain't going to be hot next month. Like you got to strike while the iron is hot. Take advantage while you can. It's impossible to do that under the current format of how these TV studios do things. When you have to film a season of a show, then wait for it to come out and see how it's going to do before you decide if you're going to do another season, it's too long a time. So here's what I propose. Now, if you're working at Netflix or Amazon or Hulu or pick the streaming network, film 3 seasons at least at a time. Like if you think the show's good enough for 1 season, make 3. Then, when the shows start airing, midway through that first season, and you're like, oh, people are into this. This show, it's getting some traction. It's picking up steam. People wanting more. Well, then you've already got seasons 2 and 3 already filmed. So when season 1 comes out, and you've got all this hype, all this momentum, people are talking about it, they're chomping at the bit, they want more, you've got something else to give them. Season 2's right behind it. It's already been filmed. It's coming. And by that point in time, you know, like you've got a hit. You've got a winner. So you can go ahead and greenlight the next 2, 3 seasons, however long you want the story to go, and go ahead and start filming that. And by the time you get done with the 3rd season that you've already filmed, because you filmed 3 seasons before before episode 1 ever aired, well now guess what? When season 3 ends, you're already ready to go with season 4. And the actors and actresses, you know, that's part of the problem with these shows, is that there's such a gap between filming, wrapping up 1 season and starting the filming the next season, that they go find other jobs, they find other work. And then you gotta write them off TV. You remember like Yellowstone? You remember when they wrote Kevin Costner off the show? It killed the momentum of the show because they had to write him off. They had to kill him off in such a way without even having him on the program. I'm like, what a stupid way. That was a huge hit show. And they ruined it all because they couldn't get their scheduling down with Kevin Costner and stuff. And it's like, that's so easily avoided if you just film multiple seasons at a time. Now, yes, is it going to cost more money? Absolutely. And here I am telling Netflix and Amazon how to spend their money. Sure. But they're Netflix is making gazillions of dollars. Amazon's making gazillions of dollars. I mean, come on. Like, if you think a show is good enough, you're willing to roll the dice on it for 1 season, just go ahead and make 3. And when you see you've got a hit in season 1, go ahead and greenlight it for 2 or 3 more seasons. And that way, Like you really, when it's hot, I mean, there's been certain shows like, you know, I'm trying to think something off the top of my head, like Game of Thrones. Man, when Game of Thrones was hot, you couldn't get enough of it. But every time a season ends, like you've got a few days where everybody's talking about the season finale and what's going to happen next. But then that momentum's gone. And then you got to start the marketing machine. You got to get the hype going for the following season whenever it gets released. But man, if you could just keep the momentum going, keep it rolling right from the start, you might still only get 5 or 6 seasons out of a show. But man, it's going to burn brighter and fly higher during those 6 seasons than having all of the breaks. And you're not going to have time to lose your actors and actresses to other, and in some cases the directors and the film crew and stuff, like they're going to be lost to other projects. It's going to be easier to keep everybody, and here I am talking like I know something about the movie industry and TV industry, but like just common sense. It's going to be easier to keep everybody together on the project if you don't have the big gaps between filming. So, yeah, that's all I'm suggesting, man. Because like The Boys, great show. I've enjoyed it. It's, you know, a superhero show, but very different. And I have forgotten most of what has happened in the show. I mean, honestly, I've forgotten most of it. This season's been really good, but like how we got to this season, I've forgotten most of it because it's been so long. I can't remember when season 1 came out, but gosh, it's been several years ago. You just had these long breaks. So that's my pitch, that's my plea to the TV industry. Just simply get with the times. It's 2026. Roll with it, man. You know, YouTube channels have become the new TV. Like most of my views on this YouTube channel, like 80% of you right now are watching this on TV. YouTube is the new TV. And YouTube, man, this channel here, I mean, it's 52 weeks a year, nonstop. Now, my channel is seasonal. I get more views now, this time of year, than what I'm going to be getting 6 months from now in the winter. Sure. But that's because I'm doing a activity that's typically seen as a summertime activity. Most people, the casual, average fisherman, the average viewer, is fishing in the summertime and they're not fishing in the wintertime. So of course views are going to drop in the winter, but you get something like a hit TV show, something like that's not going to be seasonal. Something that's just entertainment based alone, like that's a year-round thing. So keep it going. And it's doable. It's going to cost them money, and they don't want to spend that money. They want to run tests. They want to make a bunch of shows for one season, and the shows that are hits, they want to bring them back, and the ones that are busts, they want to cut their losses as quick as possible. I get that, but it just don't fit with today's world and how fast everything moves. Like when you get something that works, you gotta keep going with it because it may not work very long. I would argue maybe you get more runs, like the average TV show, the average hit show, you get 3 to 5 seasons. If you ran all of those seasons consecutively, I would argue maybe you get a longer run time before people get burnt out on it. Maybe you end up getting 8 or 10 seasons in a show before it dies off. I don't know. None of the networks will do it like that. But you've got a blueprint from not only the modern day with the YouTuber, But like other TV shows, oh, we got a blueprint to catch a fish right here. This right rod, something's after it. Our line was slack over there. I'm gonna stand up and pick up this rod. I wanna see if I feel any weight on there, we're gonna jerk his jaw. This is one we cast almost up to the weeds. They may have just knocked slack in the line, maybe. Oh, he's got it. He's got it, buddy. He got it in. I don't know if he had it the whole time, but he got it in. I felt him. He about to jerk a rod up, plumb out my hand. Oh, that's a carp too. That's definitely a carp. I saw his tail. All right. We had that one cast up there in them weeds. We'll put the next one right over there in them weeds too. In times of past, if I can just get them feeding in a certain area, I'll keep them coming to it, but it ain't worked out like that today. We may have to, yeah, that's a little better one right there. We may have to put the food right there on their nose. Come over here, Carp, get in this net for me. One of y'all net this fish here, would you? Net this thing for me. Do something for me one time. There we go, we got him. You done a good job netting that thing. Hell of a job netting there. Bring him on in. Yeah, he ain't as big as I thought he was. I got to look at him there at first. I thought he was a little bigger than what he turned out to be. Still, nice to catch one though. Tell your friends over there we got plenty more worms and pack bait for them. Ooh, boy, did you see that? Well, you didn't see that. I about put my thumb right in that hook. It was curved back toward the area. There we go. Oop, now I put it in the side of his face when I got it out. It was curved back toward the area I stuck my thumb into. Oh, easy, easy. You know what? You wild. You're wild, Carp. You're wild now. Got flies buzzing around my head while I'm trying to land you. You splashing water and slime all up in my face. Here, you ain't getting no front camera time. I'm gonna hold you out like that. You ain't big enough for front camera time anyway. Get on out of here acting that way. Lord, got water all over my face here. Did he get water all over y'all too? No, y'all, your camera lens is clean somehow. Never fails, I get splashed in the face, y'all never do. Let's get our net there. Got a worm dangling in it, there we go. Okay, well, that worked out. We got the intended targeted species, so let's see if we can do it again. With our chomped up feeder there. I swear I think that was a snapping turtle that done that. Have that kind of bite force to bend, bend that metal like that. But you know what? The feeder is still functional. It still works. These things here, they're very cheap on Amazon. I ain't bought any in a long time. They probably went up like everything else, but pretty cheap. Put a little more on here. We'll cast over there on the edge of them weeds again. Try to get it right up to the grass there if possible, along with the worm. There we go, get that thing undone. Grab your old Canadian night crawler out of here. Let's get you another one. Let's take this one right here and we're just going to scissor him in half. Hook him through a couple times. Ain't no fancy method to hooking them worms with me, folks. I just jab that hook through there a couple times. Call it a day. Good enough. All right, let's see how close we can get over here. Perfect. Just how I drew it up in my mind. Get that all tightened down. All right, back in the game. Most of the activity on the left side is way on down the shoreline over there right now. Can't cast that far. We'll leave it be over there for the time being though, in case they come back or something else moves in. But no, just to finish up on like the TV thing, like, not only is there a blueprint for these networks now with seeing how YouTube channels do, but you've also got other shows that run continuously year-round that have done well. I mean, I'll use wrestling as an example. Now, I've been back into wrestling again, WWE. At least Monday Night Raw. The Friday Night SmackDown's awful. It's as bad as it's ever been. I can't sit through that crap. Between the bad script, the bad storylines, and the picture-in-picture commercials, I can't stand that. It just, I'm done with SmackDown, but I watch Monday Night Raw. And wrestling, man, for my entire life, I mean, they're 52 weeks a year running a live show. And the ratings, I mean, they ebb and flow. They've had some, in my youth, it was hot. My teenage years, wrestling was as big as it's ever been. Then it tapered off and it was bad for a decade. But they were still drawing a rating. Like, I mean, there's just, you know, and it's a weekly episodic TV. Every week. Soap operas, man. Days of Our Lives. I assume Days of Our Lives is still on, but like my entire childhood, all the way up, man, every day my grandmother watched Days of Our Lives. It runs 52 weeks a year. The show never stopped. So it's like, there's a blueprint for these shows, or the Netflixes and the Amazons of the world. Like, there's a blueprint for how to do it. And I know you all have to be the same way. I hate when you get left on a cliffhanger season finale and you're like, oh, I can't wait to see what happens next. And then you got to wait a year or two. And by that point in time, you've either forgotten about it or you've quit caring. All is avoided if you just film multiple seasons at once. And okay, you want to go into the financial aspects. Everybody wants to talk about money, but that's what it boils down to. That's why they don't film multiple seasons at once, because of the money. They want to try to cut corners. If a show flops, they want to cut bait with it as quick as they can. And if a show is a success, then they're willing to bring it back at that point. But here's the thing. Most of the time, when you get a hit show, the characters on the show, the actors, actresses, most of the time, it's people you've never heard of before. Right? Like, you know, occasionally a Yellowstone with Kevin Costner, sure. He's a very well-known, highly established, highly respected actor, sure. But you take the cast of, gosh, I don't know, Walking Dead. I mean, huge show there for a while. Huge hit show. Those people on The Walking Dead, I guess they had probably been actors and other stuff, but I mean, hell, I didn't know who the hell they were. The TV show Friends, right? That was one of the most popular, I never got into it. I think it's more women than anything watched that show, but like, you know, it was a popular sitcom back in the day. One of the most popular ever. I don't think any of those people on Friends had done anything before the show. Now, some of them went on afterwards, big stars, whatnot. They made a name for themselves on the show. But here's the thing. As that show got bigger, the networks had to start paying them more. Every season, they wanted more money. And I think by the end, if memory serves me, they were all getting like $1 million per episode. Like, it was some crazy amount that all of them were making. imagine if you're a TV network and you've got some up-and-coming actor or actress with no leverage whatsoever because they don't have any big hit shows or movies under their belt yet. They're just grateful for the opportunity. They're grateful for the work. You're going to be able to pay them so much less. So if you can sign them to a contract, get them the first 3 seasons, basically paying them nothing, and then maybe season 1, you start getting a little traction with the show and you're like, hey, we're going to bring it back for 3 more seasons, but we're going to need to lock you in at this. You're going to get them at a discount. So yeah, you're going to have some shows that you've paid for 3 seasons to film that just, they flop. Maybe you cancel. Maybe even though you filmed all 3 seasons, you cancel the show after season 1 because it wasn't doing any good. You don't want it in that time slot or whatever. So you're going to lose some money on that, but you're going to save a bunch of money when you have a hit show and you're able to lock that star at a discount. Lock them in at a discount early before you have to pay them. So I mean, I think in the end it's going to be, it's all going to level out in the end. But if they do things how I want them to do it, it's going to be better for all of us because we're not going to have to wait a year or 2 in between seasons. That season finale cliffhanger, take a week or 2 off before the next season starts. That way you've still got people talking about it. You've got the hype. People are talking about the ending of this season. Oh, we got 1 more week before the next season starts. You've still got people talking about it, and then boom, you're right into the next season. Like, you know, I don't understand why we haven't evolved. TV is done now the same way it's been done our entire lives. They've never changed. The method we consume the TV shows have changed. We went from black and white TVs with an antenna to color TVs with cable and satellite dishes. Now everything's watched through internet services, these streaming services. Like, our consumption has changed, how we see it and watch it has changed, but the filming process of how they do it has not. And why are, like, The Boys, I think there's 8 episodes, I think. 8 or 10, I can't remember. But like, why is a TV show, why so few episodes? Why can't you just have more? Like, who set that number? That this season's going to be 8 shows, or 10, or 13. And it seems to be contracting, honestly. It used to be like a season was 13 episodes, and then it was 10, and then it was 8. And I just don't get it. What was that other show we were really into a while back? Oh, I forget what it's called. The Quarterback? Gosh. It was the show on Hulu. The guy that played in the Top Gun movie, not Tom Cruise, but the other guy. He's a quarterback, and he had apparently failed in life, so he puts on a mask, a costume, and goes back to college. And he walks on for this college. It's a great show, but they done like 6 episodes. I'm like, man, this is an awesome show, but you get 6 episodes, that was it. I can't remember the name of it. Great show though, awesome show. We were loving it. And we get to like the 6th episode and it's like, well, that's it. Where's the rest of it? Like, they didn't even really wrap up that season. Like, that's all you got. And it's like, there's no cause in that. There's no cause in it. With as much money as the Hulus and Amazons and Netflix are making, like, they got to do better. They don't have to do better because they're making a fortune how they're doing things now. But they could do better, is what I'm getting at. And it would be better for everybody. Now, we got some fish right here that's finally working toward this bait. They are all, keep coming this way, fish. Come on. Oh, something hit it right then. Did you see it? Our line got smacked. They are right there by our baits. A group of them. Something hit our line, like they probably just swam into it. Damn, now they're going back the other way though. Dang. Tell them turn and come back this way. Ain't no reason for them to turn around and go back. They was already down there. Keep coming this way, fish. Oh, we got one over here though. We got one over here. Oh, he dropped it. Or did he? Did he drop it or is he coming at us? He dropped it. He dropped it. We got hit there too. That one at least didn't get our worm. Knocked all the pack bait off. I wonder if this one here, if something tried to eat it or if something just got caught in our line. Matters not. Got it reeled in, I'm gonna send it right back over. The ones splashing around here on our right are easier to cast to than the ones on the left that keep wanting to hang out further on down that other bank. There we go. All right, set that back. So anyway, y'all, that was a long-winded rant that y'all don't care about. But I just been thinking about it as we were sitting there watching the boys and can't remember most of anything that's happened in the show. And you take a show, and I'm gonna go on just a little bit more about this, and I promise I'll drop it. But you take a TV show like Survivor. I love Survivor. I've watched every episode of every season since it came out. I think I was 18 when that show came out. Pretty sure I was 18. Honestly, can't even remember when the show started. But I'm wanting to say I was 18 years old. That would have been the year 2000. I don't know. Anyway, Survivor, right? It's a popular show. Probably CBS's most watched show aside from football. I mean, football's the most watched show on any network that has it. But like as far as TV shows type deal, Survivor's a huge hit for them, has been for years. So, you know it's coming back season after season. Well, what they do, they film 2 seasons back to back. Now, they run the show, it's 13 episodes per season, and they do 2 seasons per year. But they film them back to back. Like, that's smart. They've got all their cast and crew in a place for a short time, film 2 seasons, and then everybody goes home until it's time to do it again. Like, that's, all I'm saying is do that with every show. And I need to, I always talk about it. I never do it. I need to send in an audition tape for Survivor. I mean, I'm 44 years old, folks. If I'm going to do it, I need to do it soon. You don't want to be out. I mean, granted, there's been some older players in the game, but they never do well. If you're going to win, you need to be a fairly young, able-bodied person. And if I'm going to do it, I want to have a chance at winning. I love the game. I love the show. I'm not a camper, though. And so sleeping out on the ground for a month and starving, like, I've gotten accustomed to an easy life. I like sleeping in bed. I like eating when I'm hungry. You know, like, and then, you know, of course, at this point, I'm used to having a camera on me doing this YouTube crap, but like, their cameras are a different level. Like, I mean, they've got a gazillion cameras on you at all times. I mean, if you pick your nose, they're going to see it. If you scratch your ass, somebody's going to see it on camera. Like, there's no, supposedly if they go off by themselves, like if they tell the producers, hey, I'm gonna go use the bathroom. Now there's no bathroom, they gotta go crap out in the ocean or out in the bushes. But like supposedly if they go by themselves and say, hey, I'm going to the bathroom, they will not film them. But if they're with other people, or if they're just wanting to get some alone time off camera, forget about it. The only time you have by yourself in that game is when you're taking a dump. That's it. So, I probably wouldn't do well in the game. I mean, in my mind, when I daydream about it, of course I'm gonna win. I'm always gonna win. We're always the hero of our own story. But would I actually do good in the game? Probably not. My social skills are so bad. I would probably piss everybody off. I'm such an introvert. The thought of being on an island, starving, out in the elements with people I don't know, and most of which I probably wouldn't like I'm probably gonna rub some people the wrong way. But I've been such a huge fan of the show for so long, and I always talk about it. I always talk about sending in a video. All you gotta do, you get online, it's a free application, you just film yourself talking for 2 or 3 minutes to sell yourself basically on why you should be on the show. Like, I always talk about it, but I never do it. I've never actually went through the application process. And part of me thinks that someday I'm gonna regret that. Right now, life is good and, I've got something to look forward to every day. You don't really think about it, but at some point in life, maybe I'll look back and be like, why didn't I ever just, the odds of them selecting me to be on the show, slim to none. They're probably not going to give me the time of day. They'd probably watch 10 seconds of my audition clip or whatever and turn it off. Because, they're getting probably thousands of applications every season. So, just statistically speaking, the likelihood of me being selected is very, very low anyway. But, 20 years from now, if I'm still alive, part of me's probably going to regret not doing it, right? Like, it's one thing to say, well, you know what, I tried and I filled out the application and they didn't pick me, or they never called me, anything. Like, you can say you at least tried, you done it, you done all you could do. Like, I can't make them pick me. I can't make them choose me over thousands of other people. But the one thing I can control is the effort that I put into trying to get on the show, right? And if I don't put in any effort, will I regret that someday? Even though I probably wouldn't win. In my mind though, man, when I daydream about it, I always hear Jeff Probst saying, winner, survivor, season whatever, Justin, and he flashes around that last piece of parchment with my name on it, confetti falling there at the live finale. That's how it always goes down in my mind. Me getting that $1 million check from Jeff Probst, which is amazing. This is how popular the show is. In season 1, 20-something years ago, the prize was $1 million. They just done season 50. Well, the prize ended up being $2 million, but that was because they brought in Mr. Beast. He was like a special surprise. Spoiler alert if you haven't watched it, but the season's been over a while now. But Mr. Beast, he had one of the contestants flip a coin, and if it come up the side that he picked, he was going to add $1 million to the pot. So the winner got $2 million. If it came up the opposite, then that person was going to be taken out of the game that night. So it was a big gamble. But that Rick Devens guy, he did it, and it come up, I can't remember if he picked heads or tails, but anyway, it come up, And so they added $1 million. Mr. Beast added $1 million. So the winner of this past season got $2 million. But otherwise, it's been $1 million per season, the same as from the very start. But yet people still want to play every single season because it's just such an amazing show. It is my favorite non-sports show on TV easily. Like, I love me some football, you know, every football season, like every weekend, man, that's what I'm doing. I'm watching ball games. And I like wrestling, which is, granted, it's scripted, but it's a athletic sports type show. Even though it's scripted drama, it's still, I think you get what I'm saying. But as far as like TV goes, Survivor, man, I mean, it's been a staple of my entire adult life. I'm pretty sure I was 18 when it came out. I'm pretty sure, and I have watched every episode of every season. I'm not like a super fan to the point, like, I can't tell you, like, some of the players, they'll be doing, like, of current seasons, and they'll reference some other player saying something or doing something, or some challenge that they've competed in, now they're bringing back for the current season, whatever. Like, I don't remember all that stuff. Like, I don't remember every single character. You remember the memorable people, of course. Like, there's some people that just stand out. They probably stand out in real life too, but definitely on the show they stand out. But who got voted off third in season 10? Hell, I couldn't tell you. I'm not that kind of super fan. But still, I watch it. Every season it comes on, I watch it, every show. And I'm into it every season. There's been a few seasons that was kind of, you know, a few years ago, we went through kind of the woke era. Not just on Survivor, but across the board, everybody was woke. And that took away from the show a little bit. There's been some seasons that were kind of, you didn't really have the people that stand out. Or if they did stand out, it was kind of different. Somebody you could get behind, they got voted out early. But for the most part, man, it's been worth watching, and I've been very into it every season. And, you know, that's one of those things, like, how many shows stand the test of time like that? How many shows can you get 20-something years out of? Not many. I mean, your hit shows, the Game of Thrones, Sons of Anarchy, Breaking Bad, these things, they're a brief time. I mean, just a few years, few seasons. Wrestling's been on my whole life, but again, that's kind of a sports type show. Football, baseball, I mean, those things will be around forever. People love competition. But like sitcoms, game shows, dramas, like, they don't last. There's a handful of shows. Days of Our Lives soap opera we referenced. Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, they've been on my entire life. Price is Right. Survivor's one of those shows that kind of broke out, and it's 20-something years of it now, and it don't seem to be slowing down. I'd be shocked if they canceled it. I know they've got 2 more seasons coming because they announced the last season there at the season 50 finale, and they do 2 seasons back-to-back filming, so you know we've got at least 2 more. We're about to catch another fish right here too. That line's jumping around. Something's over there by it. He either was on the bait or he was tail slapping the line. This one on the left here, I'm about to reel it in. Cast it back out in the middle, I guess. It just ain't worked out on that left rod. I'm gonna give it a second though before I do that, because our right rod right here, well, we had something by it over there and just didn't get it. Let's go ahead and reel this thing in. one on the left. Because them fish that were working up and down through there, they're all the way down 50, 100 yards away now. Well, hell, we still got a bunch of pack bait on there. And we got our worm on there still. We ain't even got to redo this, so we're just gonna cast it out. Different location. I'm gonna go. I've been all over the place on this left rod today, folks. Like I mentioned earlier to start, you wanna kinda try to keep casting to the same spot over and over. That way you're putting off all that chum in one area, but we just never got them to eat consistently on this side. Today just ain't went like I thought it would go. It really ain't. I saw these fish splashing. I'm like, we're going to tear them up. And we've got some fish, but it ain't been the lights out action I anticipated. We'll know tomorrow though, like we'll know if there's a bunch more fish in here tomorrow, we'll know we're early. And if we come in here tomorrow and there's the same or less number of fish, we'll know this is the tail end of the spawn. But the good thing is, with the spawn happening, now, like every year after the spawn's over, there'll be a bunch of the fish stick around in the creeks and stuff. So you'll have more opportunities to catch fish. The carp fishing in these creeks are gonna get way better, is what I'm getting at, as the rest of the year goes on here. Our line, folks, our line is slack. Let me pick this thing up, see if we got something on it. We got one on it. We got one on it. Our line was slack. It's a catfish though. Tiny catfish. That may be a channel cat. It is. Oh boy, that's a small channel cat too. Oh, what happened? Did our power pole come free? Why are we spun around like this, folks? We gotta remedy this situation. I think one of our anchor poles come free. Tiny, tiny old channel cat. He didn't even get our worm. Why did we spin around somehow? All right. Oops. I'm gonna raise this up here a little bit. Where's my remote at for the motor? Hate to turn this motor back on, but I gotta spin us back around. Somehow or another, we ended up, I don't know how the hell it happened. Okay. All right, let's get it down again. All right, we set again. I don't know how that happened. I guess I shifted my weight when I stood up and popped one of them poles completely out the ground. This mud bottom we're sitting in is kind of soft, so I guess shifting my weight like I did raised it up and we got weather vaned and spun around. Well, I'm gonna throw this one. Try to get it over on the edge of the grass again. All right, let's see what we can do with it. That'll work. All right, we back in the game. How long have we been at this now? Over 3 hours. I mean, we've got some fish. We have caught fish out here today. We just ain't got, it ain't been one after another. think I'm gonna have to reel this in and reset. Have I got a fish on there? Hell, I've got a fish on here too. Didn't even know it. My line was slack. I thought it's where we got the channel cats coming in now. We get one of these tomorrow. We got our catfish gear out here. We might put him on live. I guarantee you a flathead would eat one of these tiny channels here. May not be a flathead ready to eat tomorrow, but if there was, this thing right here would get gobbled. Guarantee it. I've caught catfish that had bellies full of catfish before. I've pulled half-digested catfish out of their mouths and bellies before. Like they will have some cannibal behavior. I think we'd all be cannibals in a survival situation. Guarantee it. If you starving to death, you're gonna eat whatever. You out there and plane goes down, you on a deserted island, you're gonna eat your cousin Bob if you have to. You may not want to, but by gosh, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. Survival. That's probably the part I would struggle with the most if I ever actually did get on the game Survivor, would be the hunger. Because it's one thing when you're sitting there watching the show at home on TV, you can sit there on your couch and critique the players and their actions and how they're doing things and whatnot, but when you're starving, like when you've went several days and ain't had nothing to eat, it messes with your mind, your energy. Of course, you ain't gonna be sleeping good out there anyway, because I mean you're sleeping out in the elements. The bugs, you're on. Granted, they're gonna make a shelter, but I mean you're making the what shelter you can with a machete. That you're cutting down bamboo and weaving bamboo leaves and stuff to make a roof on it. Like, you're not gonna be sleeping well. So you're not sleeping well, you're not eating, you're out there in the blistering heat, probably not hydrating very well. Like, you're not gonna be operating, you're not gonna be functioning on all cylinders. So it's easy to critique these players from your living room couch as you're sitting there eating dinner. But in real time while they're playing, and the stress of playing a game for $1 million where people trying to vote them out with TV cameras filming their every move, I try to cut the players a little slack. I'll sit there, and me and my wife will sit there and talk about what we would do different if we were them, but you don't really know till you're in the game. And I ain't never gonna be in the game if I don't ever get around to filling out an application and submitting the video. You'd think I'd already done it. I mean, hell, I film multiple days a week, this YouTube crap. I could sit out here right now and film the audition video, but I don't. I don't do it. I'm running out of time though. I don't remember what the oldest player to ever, the girl that won it on season 50, I think she was in her early 40s. I don't know what the oldest player to ever win is. That guy in season 1, Rudy, he was a memorable person. I think he was like 70. I think he was one of the older players to ever compete. But the older players usually don't make it very long because they can't keep up on the challenges and they're kind of a weakness to the tribe in the early stages and they get voted out. You don't want to be an easy target in the early stages of the game. And I worry with me being an asshole and kind of antisocial, I would have probably a pretty big target on me right from the start of the game. I might be the first person voted out. That would be embarrassing. Somebody's got to be voted out number one, though. Tell you what else is embarrassing, too, is I built it up. When I got out here and saw these spawning fish, very beginning of this video, I was building it up like today's our day, buddy. I just knew we were going to be catching them one after another. But here we are. What we got? 3 or 4 carp? And it seems like now, honestly, as the morning has gone on, I'm actually seeing less spawning activity now than what we were first thing. There's a few over here to our left right now, but the right side of the bank right now, there's absolutely nothing going on. Like, there's less activity right now at this moment than there was when we first got on the water. That really leads me to think that maybe we're at the tail end of this, tail end of the spawn. I don't know. Maybe we are, maybe we ain't. We're either really early or really late, but the time of the year makes me think we're at the tail end of it, because I mean, we're really late. I don't remember ever, since I've only been carp fishing really the last few years, but I don't ever remember the spawn being this late. It's usually April or early May at the latest, at least here in this area. You know, so I don't know. Either way, there's a little bit of spawning activity happening. We just ain't got to. You know, and this is something else too. Hey, look right here. Is that a mirror carp right here beside us? No, that's a gar. I don't know why I thought that was a mirror carp. I guess the scale pattern there, but it's a gar right there. Right there beside us. You know something else I think has happened since we've been on the water? I think the water's come up. Am I imagining that? Or is the water higher now? Like that boat over there, was the back end of it underwater when we got out here? I feel, maybe I'm going crazy, but I feel like the water has come up. That might explain why our pole got dislodged a little while ago too. The kayak got lifted up and I hadn't pushed the button down to push the pole down any further. I don't know. Hell, we may get out of here tomorrow and all this be underwater. I was hoping with the amount of rain that we had, we could get back up to normal pool, although I've kind of had it good as far as catfishing goes with one aspect of things. So my channel members have seen this area. I done a channel members video recently and I'd caught some shell cracker in front of this bridge. But anyway, I've talked about it on some other videos, but there's a place, it's a different river than what I'm on today, but you've got the main river channel and a shallow flat, a bridge, and then a creek, right? And to access that creek, you have to go under the bridge. It's a big strip of land, a bridge over this creek. Well, with the water level being down like it has been, a boat can't get back up under that bridge. It's too narrow and too shallow. I mean, you're talking just a few inches of water, maybe 6 inches of water under that bridge. But the back side of that bridge is a beaver dam, and I can drag the kayak up and over that beaver dam, and then it opens up back in that creek, and it's like 4 to 6 feet deep. Now, it's been dry. The back of that creek has been dry, It's probably not now with all the rain. I'd say there's been some water going through it. But it's kind of been a situation where I've had a pond back there basically. And it's been my own little private bait tank. There's a bunch of fish in there, a bunch of gizzard shad in there, and they're trapped. They can't get out, and nobody can get in there to them. So I've been able to just drag the kayak up and over that little beaver dam, go back there and net shad. I've had easy pickings on getting bait. So when the water comes up, boats are going to be able to get back there, and water goes over that beaver dam, then the shad that have been trapped back there, they're going to be able to get back out to the main river. So it's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't. On one hand, it would be nice to be able to access some areas that have been inaccessible because of the water level. But if the water does come up, then I lose my own little private bait tank. So, kind of pick your poison. There are some places though I'd like to fish that I ain't been able to because of, I gotta get my sunglasses on here too, because of the water level. Like some places that when the water's up, I can put in, but when the water's down, because it's so shallow for so long, you'd have to hike through the mud to get out to water deep enough to float the kayak. And, you know, listen, I'm not opposed to hiking through some mud, but some of these areas, man, you take a step and you sink down shin deep. It's like quicksand. Like, it's hard to get to the water sometimes. So I got a couple places in my mind, parts of the river I'd like to be fishing right now, but I just ain't been able to get into, because that's the only access, or those type places where it's just, it's basically a creek, a back of a creek, and it's just inches to a foot deep for a big long stretch before it drops off. And when the water's up, well, you can put in right there on dry ground and float the kayak out till you get deep enough to drop your pedals in, or motor, whatever the case may be. But when the water's down a few feet, that area that would be 6 to 12 inches deep is just mud, wet mud that you just sink right down in. Like there's nothing, like it's just damn near quicksand. So some of those places, if the water gets back up to normal, we'll be able to hit. But we're going to lose our shad sanctuary. And I would assume, granted, today's my first day on the water since we had all the rain. And I'm on a different river than where I've been getting my bait. But I would assume if the water is up here, it's probably up there too. So a lot of them shad have probably already escaped. That beaver dam was only a few inches above. Oh, we got our left rod getting messed with. It was only a few inches of that beaver dam above the water when I was there last, so. Well, there's a bunch over there on the other shoreline over there now. 2 groups of them, one down there and one right over there. Oh, now the right rod got hit. Something knocked a little slack in the line. Well, something hit it. I don't know, folks. I don't know. I'm at a loss today. I'm not disappointed because I'm back on the water and I'm catching fish, but I am let down that we haven't caught more carp. Every carp trip I've done this year have been minimal fish caught. I say that. I've had some carp trips where I didn't catch any. So today's been better than that for sure. But like, I've had some other trips where, we catch 2 fish, 3 fish. Like, I've yet to have a day this year. We're halfway through with the year. I've yet to have a day where we just tore up the carp. Oh, we got, whoa. well, he decided to hit it and quit it. Hit it and forget it. Tap it and scrap it. That fish was like me and Catwoman. Just hit it and forget it. Or try to forget it anyway. And I'm not opposed to cats. I got 2 cats at my house right now. Marty and Midnight, and they're great. I love them. But there's a limit on how many cats you should have in the house. If you need more than 1 litter box, you've got too many cats. As this rod over here got tugged on. Has he still got it? I think he might still have it. Or is that just my slack? He knocked slack in my line and it's drifting downriver. Did he break me off or is he coming right at us? He's coming right at us. No, he didn't. I don't know what the hell happened with that. I don't know, that's weird. I don't know. Odd. But yeah, like, listen, I like cats. I'm a cat person, okay? I wouldn't trade the 2 cats I have for anything. But them's gonna be the only 2 cats we have until something happens to them. Like, we're not adding any more. House is too small. Like, if you need more than 1 litter box, you got too many damn cats. And this girl, I mean, when I woke up that day, and 1 cat's literally sitting on my chest eyeballing me, and there's 10 more on the bed, it's like, you got too many damn cats. I mean, I thought she had left a window open or something. I thought, man, these damn cats, they've snuck in her house. Like, they're taking over every cat in the neighborhoods. Broke into her house. Hell no, them was her cats. Like, that's a little much. All right, I got this one rebaited. Let's cast right back over there. That was a little bit further down than our other ones, but if we're going to miss, I guess it's better to miss further down because the other scent would have been pushed down. With this one here getting hit too, let's go ahead and check it, see if we still got a worm on there. Might as well while we're doing everything. Still got pack bait. Still got a worm. Well, I'll tell you what, let's just go ahead and we'll go ahead and refresh a little bit here on the pack bait. Add a little more to it. What do you want to bet if I throw the cast net in here when I leave? What do you want to bet I get more carp in the damn cast net than what we've got on rod and reel out here today? I'm kind of just curious to see what size of shad are in here though, because whatever size shad are in here is probably what we need to be fishing with for the catfish tomorrow, because that's what they're going to be eating. That and the carp, or carp eggs. So I'll probably throw the net in here at least once just to see what's in here, and hopefully not get a net full of carp. Got some debris floating down. I think the current, not only do I think the water's come up a little bit, but I think the flow has picked up in here. They might be moving some water at the dams, and that's maybe affecting the flow in here. When they're pushing a lot of water in, then sometimes these creeks will, instead of water going out, water will come into the creeks. But it all depends on that generation, what they're doing at one dam, the dam above you and the dam below you. Honestly, I didn't even look at the generation schedule today because normally I don't care when I'm carp fishing because I'm gonna be hid in the backwaters anyway. It don't really apply to me. I only care about the generation schedule when I'm catfishing. I want to know how much flow I'm going to have to be able to drift with or whatever, you know. But I think tomorrow I will come back here. If the weather allows. That's the wild card. We'll come back here, throw out a carp rod, throw out a catfish rod. As something hits this one on the left, we just cast back out. He's after it again. He's still over by it. Boy, he hit it a couple times. Tell him to eat that thing. I won't mind reeling in another one. But I think that's what we'll do. Because I want to see, one, I want to see what we can do with some cut bait in here. Two, I want to see, is there more or less spawning carp here tomorrow? So we just need Mother Nature to help us out, throw us a bone here a little bit. I'll get us some shad for some cut bait, either in this creek here or the one I launched in. That'll be easy. But we gotta find out what's happening here in this creek. I want to know. And here's the other thing too, like with this creek here, this section of the river, with this kind of being, at least in this particular stretch, the only creek around. I mean, I had to come a long ways from the other creek I launched in to get up here. Any catfish in this area is probably going to come in here to spawn too. So we could get some catfish maybe that are working in here looking for spawning habitat. We may bust them. I mean, we've just gotten so many catfish today, dinks, but still we've gotten so many. Like I have to just, I'm curious. I want to know, what could we do if we were actually targeting catfish with bait that's going to be more likely to catch them? What could we do with that? We'll try it. If the weather allows, we'll try it. It'll either work out or it won't. Oh, it's going to work out right here. Left rod hooked up. Okay. Why don't you be a carp? Why don't you try being a carp instead of a catfish? This fish says back in the woke days, he could identify as whatever he wanted to. I think it might be another cat though. It ain't made that run. Of course, the carp that we've got ain't been fighting like carp either. I guess they're just wore out from all the spawning. It is a carp. Now he's gonna run now, ain't he? There he goes. That's what I was expecting to see right from the get-go. All right. Yeah. Here we go. All right. This one here, he's got a, I saw it when he come up there. It looks like he's got a gash or a mark on him. It almost looks, we'll take a look at it when we get him. I wonder if he maybe got hit with an arrow, like a bow fisherman maybe. Who knows, it may just be a gouge or something in him too, you know, maybe a mark or something from where they've been spawning, but we'll see when we get him up here. Tighten down just a little bit here. He's under our other line, but he ain't in it. Come on back over here, fish. He said he's gonna do it. He's gonna fight now a little bit. It was kind of He had me thinking it was a catfish in the beginning because he wasn't. We were kind of pulling him. He wasn't really, but once he got up here and got a look at you, he said, "You ugly." He's getting the hell out. We're this fish's version of the cat woman. He got to look at us. He's getting the hell out of here. Get your net here, folks. Get your net. Let's see if we can. Oh crap! I think I just knocked my pole loose on the other side over there when I shifted my weight. Hold on a second. Let me. Here. Goodness gracious! Come on. We'll fix it in a minute. Let's work on this fish and we're gonna fix it. There he is. We got him. Okay. Yeah, this fish has got a big mark on the side of him here. We'll take a closer look at that here in a second when he calms down. Yeah, you see right there, he's gotten almost like a calm down fish. Boy, you got a rough life. Hell, you missing an eyeball too. There. That fish right there, he ain't got no eye. Like it's like, I don't think he ever had an eye. Like it's completely not scabbed over, but like skin growth over it. Here, let's get that hook. Let's get that out of the way. Now let's flip him over and I want to take a look at that. Yeah, folks, that right there looks like, it almost looks like there's a hole right there. He got hit, I believe. I believe he survived an arrow, maybe. That's the only thing I could think of that would cause like a puncture right there. An arrow grazed him. I'm gonna give him his moment of fame though. In my kayak that's setting crooked right now. Nice though, we got us another carp. Not a very big one. Wasn't the best fight. None of these carp have been good fights today, but still, the target species. Tell your other friends, we've been sitting here waiting on them all morning. What's up with that? Preoccupied. Preoccupied. Better stuff going on. All right. Hey, that's another one though. I think though today, even though we haven't gotten as many carp as what I envisioned we would when I saw what was happening, I think today we've gotten more carp, at least numbers wise, than any of my other carp trips this year because they've all been kind of duds. Just a fish or two here and there type deal. Now I've had some better quality carp on some of those trips. And I've gotten 3 mirror carp already this year. We ain't got none today. But other than just, we've definitely, the thing that today, if we had just come out here today, got a few catfish, got a few carp, fine, you know, great. But it's the fact we've seen so many damn fish. It's like they're here, we see them, and we ain't been catching them. That's the part that's kind of that makes it a little disheartening, I guess you'd say. But I'm still gonna go home happy today. I gotta fix these dang poles. Look, what's going on? I can't, maybe I need to lower this one, maybe. There we go, that'll be better. Now we're back. Now we're setting normal again. All right. I shifted my weight and we were setting crooked. I wish we didn't have to use these poles, but it's the only way I can come up with to be on the water in the kayak and not sway at all. I'm gonna try some carp trips in the links where I have a power pole in the back and an anchor off the front, but I feel like when I do that, we're still gonna get that enough side to side movement that our lines are gonna move around a little bit, but we're gonna try that at some point. But I needed to get in this kayak again, just run it, and we're making such a long run today to get up here that I wanted I wanted to use the bigger motor, be a little bit faster. It's a long, skinny night crawler right there. I'm just gonna put that whole thing on. Putting all of it on. Send it back out. There we go. All right, we fishing again. Worms there, zip that back out. We've gone through a lot of pack bait for no more fish than we've caught. That's all right. It's still relatively cheap. All things considered, anyway. I mean, you spend let's say you spend $10 on a bag of carp bait. It'll last you. Maybe you have a good day, you get a day out of it, right? So you spend $10 that day. Whereas if we net some shad to go catfishing, you would think, well, that's kind of free. But it ain't, because you've had to pay for your net. Now, your net, as long as you don't throw over a stump or some other object that's going to rip or tear, you're going to get a lot of uses out of that net. So each use, the average, you dollar cost average it, it's going to be pretty cheap. But oftentimes with catfishing, I'll make a bait run before I go on the actual catfish trip. And when you do that, you're figuring in your time, you're figuring in your fuel, any gear that you use on that trip. So like, just because you can catch your own bait when you're catfishing, it don't necessarily mean that it's free. Like, there's costs that goes in with that too. And with carp fishing, man, the convenience factor is worth something. Now, it's going to vary what that's worth person to person. For some people, if you're limited on time, being able to get your baits at the grocery store is going to be a huge benefit. So that's going to be worth more to you. You take somebody, oh, here we go. We just got it cast back out, man. I still don't know what it is yet. It wasn't out there long. Not long at all. Let's see what it is. I think it's going to be a cat. It is. It's another catfish, buddy. The cats are in here thick. We bring in some cut bait tomorrow, we're going to, well, I say that. Who knows? We may get out here and not catch a damn thing. They may be gone tomorrow. But I think if there's as many cats tomorrow as what we've had today, and we got some cut bait, I think we're going to have a trip. Let's get this one over here and put him in our fancy new, oh, we ain't going to either. He just popped free. We got the quick release on that. That's all right. I didn't want to lay hands on that fish no way. All right, man. Boy, if we could train all them small cats to unhook themselves, how awesome would that be? Boy, he did tangle up our line, though. When it comes slingshotting up over my head, we ended up wrapping that thing up right there. Lord, what have he done? What's he done to us here? Has he tied it in a knot somehow? Has he looped our, I think he's looped our hair rig around. This is what you get on an unedited video, folks, right here. You get me picking out tangles. Tangles and lost fish, snags, you see it all on these things. For better or worse, when you come fishing with me on one of these trips, you're gonna see everything. And oftentimes you get a little of both. You get the good of me catching fish, and then inevitably something is going to happen that I'm not going to want to happen if I had a choice in it. But such is life. That's how it goes. But the main thing is we having fun, we being productive, getting a nice day out on the water. It's dreary out here, but we ain't got soaking wet. We ain't needed our umbrella yet, so that's good. Like, it's been a good day for us. Nice to get back. There's another one of them long, skinny ones right here. We'll just put the whole thing on. Hang on, worm. Let me get you. There you go. Now we got it. Okay, let's throw right back over again. Boy, I still got that line around the rod tip. There we go. All right, now we're ready to cast back up. Okay. Back in the game again, folks. Let's get our worms situated there. Boy, our battery's about dead here on the camera, y'all. Looks like me and you, our time together is winding down. I'm gonna fish probably I'll probably give it another hour, 30 minutes to an hour. I'm at least gonna work through the rest of my bait here before I roll out. And then I'm gonna work on netting some shad. I'm gonna throw at least once or twice in here where I see them shad flipping and see what I get. Now I've got my live scope on that portable box now. I didn't bring it. There right there is just my little 2D graph, if you will. So I can't really see what I'm throwing at, but there's been enough shad flipping. As long as I throw where I see them flipping, we're gonna have an idea of the size of the fish that are here. And I'd really like, I mean, even if they're small, if that's what's in here, that's what I'd like to have as our cut bait option tomorrow. I'd like to match the hatch, if you will. Match the size of the bait that's in here, because these catfish, they're moving up. Like, if they're in here looking for spawning habitat or feeding on these, I mean, we can't match the carp eggs, obviously. But if these other shad are in here and they're dying or injured or whatever, like, they're going to get gobbled up. So that's going to be the size of the shad that they're keyed in on. So that's what I want to use. Some creeks, man, some creeks you'll be full of gizzard shad, others will be full of thread fins. Some will be a little bit of a mix, but it seems like when you're fishing a certain area in a creek, it will be primarily one type of shad. It'll be primarily small thread fins or a certain size of gizzards. Like that seems to be how it goes. Like, for instance, the creek I launched in today, when I get shad there, it's usually thread fins. I get very few gizzards out of there, regardless of the time of year. I get very few gizzards. I don't know why that is, but they just prefer some creeks over others. We'll have us some cut bait for tomorrow, though. That I know for sure. The thing we don't know for sure is if I'll even get to fish tomorrow, if it ain't raining in the morning. I don't think it's going to be, but you know, the next several days it's going to be intermittent showers and stuff. We got one about to run with this one. I saw he's got it. He's got it. Ha ha ha. I think this is a carp. This is a carp right here, folks. I'm just gonna let him run too. We just gonna let him do his thing, man. This is what we want right here. What we want today, anyway. even tomorrow we throw out the cut bait, I'm still gonna wanna catch catfish, but I'm gonna wanna catch some bigger ones. This is, man, this left rod, we couldn't get it any action at all for the longest time this morning. And now it's getting all the action. Like it's literally, it's getting everything. Funny how that works, man. I still ain't got to look at this thing, but I think that, based on that initial run, I think it was probably a carp. I want to try to steer him back around. Don't want him going behind the kayak over here, of course, getting in them dang poles. I don't want him getting wrapped up in the motor. Come around here on this other side, fish. I'll be doggone, y'all, that's another catfish. That is another catfish. They have been absolutely stacked in here today. Well, all right, we're just gonna catch, we're gonna catch whatever's here, by gosh. Apparently I ain't gonna catch this one just yet. Get back up here, fish. Come over here. That's another one here. He's fun size and length, but every one of these fish has just been super skinny. All of them. I mean, every catfish we've gotten today has been underweight for its size. Well, I just seen I got the red line there on the camera, folks. This thing might cut off at any time. I apologize if it does. If this video ends abruptly, we had a dead battery. We're gonna try to show this fish off though before it happens. Fish, I think you're gonna be the last one of the video. I'm gonna fish a while longer, but I think you're gonna be the last one of the video because the battery pack has about had it. Let's set y'all up here. Get that camera position right. Ah, quit it. Doggone you, fish. You about tore my thumb up now and plunked yourself on the head. But I mean, yeah, he's a large dink, small fun size, but just very underweight. They've all been underweight today. I don't know, man. I guess eating these carp eggs or something. I don't know. Maybe it's a diet food or something. Maybe everybody needs to be eating carp eggs or something. I don't know. Either way, it's another fish. We've had several fish today, man. We've had some gaps. It ain't been the lights out bite that I had hoped for when I saw the activity, but like, it's been a productive day for numbers anyway, even though most have been catfish. But like I said, I've told you the plan. Hopefully next video, assuming the weather allows tomorrow and assuming tomorrow goes well, that'll be the next video, and we'll see. We'll put some cut bait in here and we'll see if we can get some better quality cats or not. As many cats as we've seen in here today, there has to be some better quality fish working through. There has to be. And hopefully tomorrow will be a little bit more productive on the carp too, if more are moving into spawn. We'll see. We'll see how that goes tomorrow. But that battery up there, it's about had it, y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the video before I get rebaited here. I'm gonna fish now probably 30 minutes to an hour. But anyway, thanks for coming with me today, y'all. I've had some fun. I'll see you tomorrow.